Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dead Unicorn Live, where we're playing Vallanthia, a, an entire world created by my good friend Howard. He has been working on this for months, years, and we all get to play it. I get to be a player. It's great, which is not something I get to do often. So before we go into that, let me thank quickly my patrons up in the corner scrolling. Thank you, patrons, for your support. We will be doing a voting for this game where people can get some sort of reward for winning. We're still hammering all that out, but if you're a patron, you will be able to participate in this game as well. Other than that, I guess I'll just send it over to Howard and he can introduce everybody. So take it away. You're the real star, my friend.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. All right. So, as he said, this is Vallanthia. This is using the D6 fantasy system, Open D6 fantasy system, which is, if you're familiar with the old Star Wars game that was made by West End Games, when that company went under, they put an Open D6 on all their products so you could use their system to make your own games. And that is what I have done here. But more important than me and this world is, of course, the players. So let's start by introducing the players and their character. Well, we'll let them introduce their characters when they show up in the game, but we can introduce the players. Let's start with, I don't have the thing up to let me see everybody, so I'm just going to say somebody I assume is here. Matt?
What? What's up?
Introduce yourself, then we'll go to the next person.
All right, so my character is relatively unique to
He wasn't listening
this
at all.
world.
He wasn't.
We're
But
introducing.
to be fair, that is Matt.
We're introducing ourselves. You're Matt.
Oh.
Saying,
Just
"Hi, I'm
yourself,
Matt.
not your character.
I play here often, and I'm an illustrator."
Oh, so introduce
Oh, well,
yourself.
Gory already covered that for me. All right, Gory.
My name's Matt. I wear pants.
But not today.
I'm wearing shorts, thank you very much.
I've chosen a new path.
Ew, shorts.
Crystal, are you gonna kibitz this entire time?
Probably not.
My wife is right over there. Just-
She was invited, to be fair.
She was, yes.
All right, so
We still
Corey,
like
go
her.
ahead. Matt
might-
picked you.
Everybody knows me. I'm Corey. I'm the guy who makes sure this channel is running properly and smoothly to the best of my ability. Yeah, that's me. That's everything about me. That's everything that's important, right?
That is all of his entire personality.
All right, well, we'll just move
Who
on to
else is
Sarah.
going to volunteer as tribute?
I volunteer Sarah. Go ahead. Let's get this moving.
Oh, thank you, Howard. So generous of you. Okay, I'm Sarah. I feel like I'm the token female for this game or something, but that's okay.
Funny, I thought the same thing.
See? No, I heard I was invited because I'm a damn good role player. The GM said so. I have it in text and everything.
I do not
No,
disagree.
Corey. All right.
I'm your hype man. Yeah, that's what she said.
Carlos, why don't you go next?
All right, I'm Los. Hello, everyone. I'm the garbage man, but they invited me to play, so I jumped in real quick and said, "Okay."
He's very excited to be here, everybody.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
Take out the garbage when you're done, though.
He
Gotcha.
may
Yeah,
not,
don't forget.
he may
It's
not
kind
sound
of like the
it.
the payment for services rendered type thing. I got you.
He's
And
playing
don't
it cool, but
steal
he's,
any jewelry like last time.
he's
Hey, I can't make any promises. Okay, you let me in the house. It's your
what
problem
happens,
now.
man?
Yeah, that was my fault. I did let you
Remember-
in the house.
Remember, the profits are actually in thrown away Christmas lights. Just strip them of their copper and sell them to smelters.
Gotcha.
Got
I think
Sarah
I'm just
on
the,
speed.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience there, Matt.
Because I used to work in the garbage collection company, and that's what most of the trash men did. They stripped all the thrown away Christmas lights of copper and resold it.
How much could that be worth?
Like a little bit of extra on their paychecks, essentially, like a little bit of extra side cash.
All right. So last is Tarek.
Hello, guys. I'm Tarek. I do things.
Do you know your camera's off?
Yeah, I'm wondering why he's blank there too.
Yeah, my camera is updating. I didn't realize that it had to update, so I'm going to get that working here shortly.
I think he's just afraid to show his face.
That
You
too. I
had
have a
Tarek's face.
mustache.
You would be afraid to show it too.
It's true. Have sympathy for me. Send me
None.
faces. Send me other faces that I can use.
Remember, he has a mustache made of spiders.
Oh. I don't know what that's about, and that sounds awful. So we're going to go ahead and start tonight's game.
Good
All
to
right.
see all of you again, by the way.
I don't think I've met you before, but pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look him straight in the eyes. He will eat your soul.
Only
I-
partially. I'm already.
I'm
it's already
told that
finished.
we've met, but I've repressed it. What did you do?
I
A
thought
lot.
I was the Eldritch Horror.
Howard, I used
reincarnated.
that spell on you, and now you can't remember anything. But there was a lot of lovely nights together.
Ooh.
Saturday nights up until late. Yes.
Wow, I thought I was the only Eldritch Horror in the group. Well, looks like my fight for dominance has now started.
I think he was talking about LARPing, but you know.
I was. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you have a filthy mind. I don't know.
I mean,
I
Sarah
have a
was there
very
too.
abstract mind.
So
thank
was
you very
Corey.
much.
Actually, it was just a party. Everybody was
We
there.
were all there, yeah.
Back in the day. All right, so there are caravans arriving at the. It is near dusk. The giant walled city lays before you of Vallanth, which is the capital city of Vallanthia. As your caravan, whether you're in a caravan or traveling on your own, the road is kind of crowded as people are trying to get in. And just as you are arriving at the edge of this giant walled city and you see the gates in the distance, you see the iron gates sliding down as the sun slips below the skyline. Surrounding the city of Vallanth is a huge mountainscape in front of you, which would be northward as you are coming from the south. There is snow on the ground. It is a cold night. Some of you that are more familiar with the area will be aware that there is two small towns that have built up on either side of this great walled city, mostly from people that get trapped out here at night, and they started little, basically trading communities of camps that have built up into towns. On the one side is Thelen, on the other side is Tisseldale. Tisseldale is a slightly larger city, is more structured, whereas Thelen tends to be more if there was a slum of people that are forced to camp outside of a wall, that would be Thelen.
All right.
Worst of the worst.
Sounds like a party.
So you put a map up. Should I show the map to everybody? And you want to ping
If you'd
where we
like,
are? Sure.
sure. Unfortunately, the area that is this is a general map of the continent. If people can see it, that's awesome. I will ping where Vallanth is, but unfortunately, it's just kind of a stock picture of a city.
Kind of shows the two little cities on the outside that you were talking about a little bit.
Kind of. I could definitely see that being them, but yeah, that's Vallanth. And like I say, so it's a big wall around the city with iron gates. There are guards that can walk along the top of the wall. That gives you an idea of the depth of the wall in addition to the height, which is clearly at least a good 5 meters. It's a huge wall.
I look at Erda and I say,
Is that this? Is that what we're talking about?
No, that is another city. That's a dwarven city up in the mountains.
we're here. We're here. So I turn to Erda and look at him from my mount. And I say, so what do we do? Do we go up and knock?
There are guards standing on either side of the gate as
Do
well.
we ask permission to come in?
But it's been shut, right? The gate's closed.
The gates close at sunset.
What do we do?
Um,
Do we have to give him a gift?
I don't know if I've told you this yet, friend, but I've never been to this city before.
I walk up smiling and bouncy towards one of the guards at the door, and I stop close by, and I just wait to be, acknowledged.
the guard that is closer to you is a burly-looking dwarven fellow. He's wearing what looks to be chainmail, and he wears a tabard with the colors of the Valanth flag on it. And he looks at you.
That's a
I don't
beautiful
remember-
tabard you have on there.
I don't remember how tall your character is, but he's a dwarf, so I'm not sure if he's looking up at you or down at you.
Oh, I will like kneel or whatever just to get eye level,
Okay.
and I'll just give my most pleasing smile and say hello.
Hi.
Hey, how do we get in there? If I like need to get in, do I have to wait till tomorrow, or can I? Is there any possible way I could get in today? Smile, wink, wink, wink.
Do you have parents or something?
Yeah, they're in there. I need to go in there and see them.
Well, if your parents come and they ask, I'll tell them I saw you. You got a name?
Yeah, my name is Twinkle.
All right, Twinkle.
Where should I wait? In that really scary looking place, or in that nicer place over there?
You probably be able to find somewhere to bed down in Thistledale. And he points off towards Thistledale.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You're so sweet.
So what you're describing,
Looks
there
away
are,
completely uninterested in the small child.
there are two different towns. One town is like good, and one town is like evil.
Well, one town looks like it's just more structured, and the other one is like there's a shadow over it, and have you ever just
It looks
been in
like a shanty
neighborhood that
town.
looked like a good neighborhood versus one that looked like a bad neighborhood, and they were only a couple streets apart? It's like that.
I was hoping it'd be more like the old He-Man Eternia playset, where like there was the Castle Grayskull Tower.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
the
Snake Mountain on the other side. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then the
absolutely.
actual city was in the middle.
You're showing your age there, buddy. I remember that very well. I start hopping over to Tillsdale.
What?
Hopping over that way.
So that kid couldn't get in, but he didn't have
Yes, it appears that child was
he didn't
not
have a
able
gift.
to cross.
Maybe we need a gift.
By the way, if it's like, am I glowing, Howard, at this point?
You naturally glow. You could cover it up with like a hood.
I'm
but,
not really trying to. I don't got any reason to.
Yeah, I think on your picture you had red hair, so it has like
Yeah.
a soft red light glowing from it, creating just an ambient light, so people can spot you from a distance.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty spottable.
Very glowy.
And Twinkle is a lady, right?
Yeah.
She's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you suppose we get in? Do they take gifts of gold? Should I
You want to ask
give
them?
them money and they can let me in? Is it a tax? Maybe it's a tax.
We can
Do I
always
hear them
ask.
mumbling by
Why
chance
not?
when I'm walking past?
Why not simply walk up and
So
engage them?
Twinkle, you see two elves. One is riding a large goat, and also has like goat horns that sweep backwards across his head.
Ah,
And the other one,
I look directly at you
I-
with your goat horns, and I look at the goat you're riding, and I say, "Any relation?"
I give you a dirty look. Like, how dare you? Then I look over, Tarek, what does your
Yes.
character look like? I'm asking.
Erda is a tall elf, very light skinned, large black bulbous orbs for eyes. He's kind of scarred up, has plain looking, heavy, thick robes, more like almost like monastic robes, that are dingy and obviously worn and kind of torn up. He has long black hair, ears that are very straight up from the sides of his head, kind of cresting over the edges of his top of his head. And he has like a giant weapon on him, kind of strapped to his back.
And what does Twinkle look like? By the way, we still can't see you, Tarek. You're a big black box.
I know. I'm trying.
I'm trying. What does Twinkle look like?
Beautiful kind of green gowns, flowing red hair. She's got like antlers that look more like branches with little flowers popping out of them. All glowy. very bubbly, and when you're looking at her in that particular way, like how dare you, she immediately apologizes. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't not mean to offend at all. I really didn't. I just trying to figure out if this is a pet of yours or something like that.
Yes, this is Riddle?
Is it a male or female?
Rootle, yes. I'm sorry.
I kind of look underneath.
He goes, he says, this is Rootle. And he was one of my favorite goats.
It's a he.
And, I raised giant goats.
May I pet him?
For milk, I guess. If
You
he
can't
might
milk
bite.
him, though,
He
can you?
does bite, but so be careful.
I'll very casually, gently, slowly approach and try to pet it.
Goat petting simulator 101.
What happens?
It's an NPC. I can't control it. I don't know.
The goat,
Do I get
the
bit, Howard?
goat is fairly tamed, domesticated by you. So unless you indicate for it to do something, it's going to just react like a tame animal, which in this case,
Okay.
it notices, and it doesn't seem to have a problem being pet by the girl because she doesn't look like a threat.
I whisper over to you, what does he eat?
Grass. Lots
To your knowledge, the goat eats everything.
Yeah, I know, but some things are
Sounds like
better
a goat.
for it than others, and I raise them, so
I even use it to get rid of some of the more dangerous plants around the area. They have
Tries
saliva
to
that
eat
can-
everything.
grass, dried grass, mostly in the winter time. Would
Do
you
I have a piece of fruit in my bag, Howard? Can I just pull out like an apple or something?
That's fine.
Okay, I pull out an apple and I feed it to the goat. Here, Mr.
It'll
Goat.
eat the apple, definitely. It'll chomp that thing down.
Oh yeah.
I'll pull out a little piece of cheese, and I'll be like, "Here, try some of this.
Yep, I take a bite of it.
It's goat cheese."
That's very unusual flavor. Did he make it?
Indeed. Well, not him, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, boys don't nurse.
his family.
His mate, maybe.
I try to feed the cheese to the goat.
Oh, the
No,
internet
that's
has
fine.
truly corrupted me.
I say, he does not tolerate that anymore.
Oh,
when he was
okay.
when he was a kid, definitely.
Chomp, chomp.
But he's
I'll-
grown
I'll-
now. That's bad for
Eat the
him.
rest of it. That's very good. You do a great job. Are you a farmer?
I was a goat herder. I guess I'm not anymore.
Did you like decide not to be a farmer anymore? Do you want to just be like something else?
I get down off my goat, and then you see that my hand is made of stone. Very obviously, it's made of stone as I get myself off of the goat. And I said,
Ooh,
actually, I'm here to learn. I'm a student now.
oh, I'm a student too.
Of what?
Pull out a potion from my pouch. Say, I make potions.
Medicine?
That too. I have a physicker bag with me. You want me to try to fix that? Is that like a curse? Did you see like
No.
some creature?
I was born this way.
Do you know how to get
Must have
inside
hurt your
this
mother
place?
quite a bit.
No, I think you misunderstand. I wasn't born with a rock hand. I was born without an arm.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting.
Why?
Strange
So
head.
you grew a rock arm?
You could say that. I created a rock arm.
Is it like just like a fake arm, or can you use it?
I can.
Look at that. They articulate and everything. Wow. I grab your hand and start looking at your fingers.
I can't feel that. You can actually, like, if you pull off my finger.
I'm so sorry. I give it back to you.
And he farts.
I put it back on. I wiggle it.
Go, Howard.
It's
Oh boy.
it's not real. It's just something that I can control.
Hmm. Well, that's
There are
very interesting. You're
caravans
about
and
the most interesting person I've met today so far. That dwarf was not very friendly.
I look over at Erda and I say, I apologize. I think you're way more interesting.
Well,
Are you
we have
talking to
had a
the?
bit
Is that like a?
longer.
You're a giant mushroom, aren't you? Or no?
No,
Erda.
me?
No,
Erda?
you said you're a monk. You have monkish robes
Well,
and
I
a
have
giant weapon.
like
Is he your bodyguard?
monastery. No, we have protected each other on the road, but we have not seen much danger as of yet.
Well, if he's a farmer, what do you do?
Uh, you're a farmer. Um, well, I guess I'm just out adventuring. Don't normally get out past.
So you're not a
Um,
farmer. You don't have any
I
goats
am
or anything.
I am not, or I have never farmed, not once. I come from a very remote and distant place. You'll realize, Carlos, my character's a mystic elf who are known or like renowned for being secluded and like sheltered away, never really interacting with society.
So
It's an odd thing to see them out and about.
What are you doing here?
I said I'm just learning.
I
Yes.
kind of interrupt Erda because he seems to be floundering, and I say, what is your name?
My name's Twinkle.
Do you live here?
No,
Oh, we're trying to get in the door, and
they're
I
not
was,
gonna let you in. Not till morning.
oh,
I tried to tell him my parents were inside because he thinks I'm a little girl, but yeah, they're not gonna let me in.
You are quite small.
Thank you.
how tall are you?
Like right around 6 feet.
6.
Oh,
That-
well then
that's
never,
really
never
tall.
mind. That's
You're really
very
tall.
tall.
I'm like 1.4 meter.
Well, Howard converted it to feet
So
for me.
you're like
About
3
2
inches
meters, I think.
shorter than
Or
actual me.
1.5. I think Howard said.
I'm really. That's why I can ride a goat. Actually, it's a giant goat, but it's not that
You're
giant.
like 4'9".
it's not
I'm-
quite like the size of a horse, but it is significantly larger than a regular goat.
Yes.
I'm 2 meters tall.
So you're shorter than me and you're taller than me. Okay.
So I guess we have to camp.
Yeah, I was gonna go to that little town over there because it looks nicer than that town. That town's kind of scary looking, but we could go over there if you want to.
As you've been
Wow.
talking, the other caravans and travelers on the road have all pretty much gone either one direction or the other, and the winds are picking up and the snow is starting to fall. I didn't want to
Whatever.
interrupt you, but that I was going to say that earlier.
Yeah, we should go. It's getting a little cold out here, and this road is
I'd
very.
like a fire. Yes.
Do you want to go to town? Is that what your aim is?
I'm sure there's a little place we can get some nice warm cider or something in that town. Right there. Not that ugly one. That's scary. We'll go that way.
I'd love some cider.
Let's go get
That
cider.
sounds great.
All right. Sounds good. I go back up to the dwarf. Say, sir, never mind. I'll wait for my parents over there in that town. Thank you. Smile.
Why
Twinkle.
don't you wait at the overrated gauntlet? It's a pretty good end.
Oh, okay. Appreciate you. He said to go to the overrated gauntlet
The overrated gauntlet.
or over easy gauntlet.
Whatever you'd
Maybe
like
they
to
make
call
it-
it.
We can discuss where we should eat. once
I look
we
at your
arrive.
arms, Erda, while you're. I pick up your robe a little bit and try to look at your arm, see if you have a stone arm too.
No, but you do see a lot of weird scars all over my arms.
Did you walk into a rose patch?
No, what is a rose?
Hold on. I reach in my bag and pull out a little ointment, put it on a bandage, start applying it to your arm.
Oh, they're not bleeding.
Well, no, it'll help the scarring. I don't want you to have like all those ugly scars. You're gonna look horrible. But you're nice. It's like derma for scar elves.
Twinkle.
Very very kind of you.
Just covering you in Maderma, basically.
Twinkle,
Unnecessary.
Do all? What kind of elf are you? A city elf? A noble
I'm
elf?
glowing.
Shimmering
I'm
elf.
shiny, baby.
Yeah, I know what the different kinds of elves are. I'm a wild elf. What kind of elf are you?
I'm a shining elf.
Is that what they're called?
They're called shimmering, I think.
Oh,
It's-
shimmering elf.
I can't pronounce it.
The Losifar
Losifar.
are also called shining elves, mostly by humans. The elves generally use the more complicated
Losifar.
names.
I'll say it because I just couldn't
Losifar.
pronounce it. Losifar.
Are all Losifar as I don't mean to offend, but as handsy as you are?
No, they tend to be very, very prim and proper.
Well, you're the first one I've met.
Well, you're the first one I've met with a stone arm too.
Yeah, I would assume it's quite a novelty.
I think I could come up with some pigment so we could paint that rock like a more normal color, and it'll look a lot more becoming on you, if you want. It's just a thought.
You know, it could be painted, not.
Ooh,
But
or we
I'm
could put little
thinking-
symbols on there.
Yeah,
little
we could make
symbols
it.
and stuff.
We could paint weird symbols and things all over it and make it look like a piece of artwork. That might
Yeah.
be nice.
Here,
I
drink
never
this.
thought of doing that before.
A man with long gray hair and a scar over his eye walks by you, and you hear him mutter, "Winds howling," as it gets colder.
Oh, I thought we were walking. I'm sorry, and we're walking. We're walking.
We're walking towards the place.
Down,
I-
cider this way.
I pop
We're
open
going.
the potion and I guess I drink it because he gave me a potion.
Yeah, a random limb's gonna pop up on you somewhere.
What?
You get a third limb, a third arm, third leg, whichever one you want. Howard, you can be the judge. Let's do
you
arm.
know what it is.
I
when
wanna
you
give him an
make the
arm.
potion.
Giving him an arm to make up for the stone arm.
So
There
you
you go.
now have underneath your stone arm a new appendage because he didn't design it, or she, I should say, didn't design the potion for a
Specifically
person
for
without
you.
an arm.
Yeah.
So she would have designed it for someone with an arm. So therefore, it's going to grow beneath what would normally be a person's primary arm. Most people being right-handed.
You
So
can
you
use
have
that
a
one now.
real arm beneath your stone arm that you can manipulate and work as you will.
Oh, yeah, it's a fully functioning arm. You have another
I
another arm.
my eyes grow wide. I look at this and I'm like,
This
okay.
one will work.
It looks skin color wise would be a good match for her own.
I like look under my. I have to like undo my armor. Ah,
Oh yeah, as it's growing, you're gonna feel that.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh God,
Maybe
what
you
did you
can
do?
hide
What the heck is happening to me?
Ah, ah, I just start screaming.
The guards will come. Don't yell. It's just I thought maybe since this one doesn't work, you should have one that works for a little while.
Did you literally just
What?
throw him?
Two guards are walking by as you say that, but they do not look at y'all in any way and continue walking towards the overrated gauntlet.
Pay no attention to the elves in the corner as I walk slowly forward.
I dropped the bottle, unfortunately.
That's okay. It's just one dose, so it's only going to be there for an hour. Don't worry. You don't have to get scared.
I
How?
continue on, but I feel like a freak.
He feels very self-conscious now.
Yeah, like ooh, what's going on?
Achievement 1. Make the other elf very self-conscious. We got it.
Make sure everyone knows I am the most pretty.
Also, that whatever it was tasted terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't taste very good.
It tasted like hate and sorrow.
It tastes
As
like
you're-
burning.
As the group arrives in front of the overrated gauntlet, you do see that the sign out front is shaped just basically like a rough cut silhouette of a hand, and the symbols on it are in the trade speak or Vallanthia in the common tongue. If you can read that, which I don't think anyone in the party can, it says something. So I'll leave it at that. But it
You
looks
said
like
we
a
couldn't
hand.
read. Yeah, you said we couldn't read. I never learned how to read.
Not
Looks
for
like
free.
hand.
You gotta spend a point.
Yeah.
It looks like a hand. There's a picture
This
of a
must
hand.
be it. I bust the doors open.
All right. as you push to bust the doors open, they just flop open as tavern doors do. But they do kind of like smack the wall, so it gets a few people to turn their heads and look at you.
I say, hello.
Most of the people just go back to what they're doing. A lot of people have been on the road all day. They're tired. Some of these people have been traveling near where you are and have seen you at this point. And they're like, ugh. Just because you have so much energy around people that are tired.
Yeah.
Behind the bar, you all see an older human female with red hair. It looks like her eyes are different colors, but you can't really tell for sure from here. But she also has some sort of a tribal face paint thing going with blue streaks.
I love your makeup, and your hair is gorgeous. Can I have 3 ciders for me and my friends, please?
Come on, lass. I'll get you 3 ciders.
Thank you.
She goes and starts pouring some drinks.
I just let Roodle go and just say, behave, and just walk in.
I cover my head with a hood from my robe, like tighten up. It's cold, so I'll use that as an excuse, kind of tighten everything up, and then slowly walk in behind Winterborn, Chthonian, White Ape of the Spring. I imagine that you have you have to say the full name, like a Tribe Called Quest style.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. All right. So if you were pulling the hood up in the hopes that people don't pay too much attention to you, then I have really good news for you. Almost everyone is really staring, not necessarily in a rude way, but just sort of a what is that way at the large mushroom man that is also entering at this time.
Oh.
My eyes will go wide. Oh my God.
I would love it if I'm entering at the same time as him and I see all the eyes like staring toward us. And then I'm like, oh shit, they're staring
for a
at
moment you think they're all looking at you.
And then I look over and I'm like, holy fuck, what is that?
I walk over with 3 ciders. I hand one to the White Ape. And I hand one to the mushroom now. Hello.
I take it he and I both walked in together.
Yeah, but nobody really noticed you because you're of normal proportions.
I reach out with both hands on one side, and I'm like,
Tom is gonna look at the glass a little questioningly.
Would you like some cider?
Just kind of holds it.
The girl next to him looks at him and goes, "It's for drinking, Tom. It's okay."
What else would you do with it?
He's not used to our food and drink.
Oh.
So he just kind of looks quizzically and tries to put it up against his mouth and just takes sips at it.
It will flow into your mouth. It is a weird feeling. The weird fibrous biology of your mouth. Just you absorb and taste things a little differently than regular people, but it's definitely from some sort of a plant-based juice, and it is refreshing.
Nice and cold.
Okay, so should he describe what his character looks like?
I think everyone should get on that.
All right, so Tom is a 7 foot tall. As Howard described it, mushroom man, but he is called a Mycean. He has 3 arms, 2 eyes that are a little lopsided at the front, and 1 extra eye in the back, so he can see what's going on behind him. 2 arms where they are normally located on the human body, but he has an extra arm in the center of his back, and he is wearing what looks like a slightly off carpenter's outfit for that day and age. It looks familiar, but not quite. And he has a few tools in some of his pockets that look familiar, but have this very strange visual texture to them that makes you wonder what kind of material his hammer or screwdriver or whatever is made of. And right now he looks like kind of like tan gray, but if you were to put him into a dark room, he would glow green.
You glow too?
Mhm. And he's not necessarily familiar with the Vallantian language, so he's going to pantomime a little bit, but he is going to say things in a very direct manner. So, once he finishes taking a drink, he puts the drink down.
I poke him.
Kind of enjoys it.
I
You
poke him.
feel something poking at you as you're putting down your drink.
Poking.
So he looks down slowly, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention his cap kind of looks like he's wearing like a really wide brimmed hat too.
I reach up and try to touch it.
You're almost as tall as him. You're just like a foot different.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's like shying away from me or
But
what.
yeah,
So I'm
foot
like
is a-
reaching
is
up,
a-
trying to.
Yeah.
Like he's awkwardly like trying to give you back the glass, but you're still kind of poking at him. And he's kind of wondering why you're just like kind of like touching him so much.
You
He
spore?
doesn't, not necessarily know what to do with you.
Do you
How
spore?
are taller the ceilings in this place, by the way?
The ceiling in here is about 10 foot, and
Okay.
the doorway is actually not quite 7 foot. So some of you like the Masayan will have to duck.
Do you have any samples?
So he puts down the glass on a nearby table, like puts his arms under your arms, picks you up a little bit, looks to Esri and says, "Annoying child."
Yes. So the girl that's traveling with him is an elf. She has all black hair. It's shaved on one side and long on the other. Her skin is black, her eyes are black, and her clothing is black. And it's very has a very Spartan militaristic look to it. Very simple, very plain.
I see a red door and I want it painted black.
It's
Mr.
the
Mushroom?
way she is. She almost seems to fade into the shadow of the Mysayan. In fact, for a moment, you didn't realize she was there.
You get the feeling that if you were with her in a dim room, you wouldn't see her.
Until he looked at Esri and spoke to her directly. Then all of a sudden it's sort of like, oh my God, there's been an elf standing there the whole time.
I walk
would
up
you-
to the
Yes,
Mycenaean.
annoying child.
Sir.
I walk up to the Mycenaean and I
Smile,
say,
please.
So he puts her down.
Thank you.
"Twinkle,
Yes.
you
Twinkle.
need to ask permission before you do stuff like that. Did you like being picked up unceremoniously by him?"
It was fine. I don't know
Or
what he's
her?
gonna do.
I apologize,
It-
Mr.
They?
Mushroom
You might not like
Man?
pronouns.
or Mr. Mrs. I'm not sure. I apologize. What are you,
So
a
he
man or a
focuses
woman?
It's just
Non-binary.
Are you not a man or a woman? How do I address you?
Mr.
He's not wearing a dress. He's wearing overalls.
Twinkle,
I
please.
can't-
Shh,
I
let
can't
him
hear you,
speak.
Matt. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. So Tom responds, like while cocking his head to the side, "Mr. is fine."
Mister. Well, then, Mister. I am the winterborn Chthonian, white ape of the spring, son of the fallen matron with the summer kiss skin.
That's a long name.
You should
By the
have
way,
asked-
Howard-
So Tom like quizzically mulls over your name, and just kind of like not like with any meanness in his voice. He just says, "Very long name. Ape, I call you."
I'm
So
looking
the,
around him
it
to
is-
see if he drops anything.
It is very nice to meet you, Mister.
there are no mushroom pods or anything falling off of him.
I'm just looking, just quizzically.
The woman that brought you the drinks approaches you and says, I'm gonna have to ask you for the 3 copper.
I hand it to her. I say, "Wait, we need 1, 2, 3 more, please." And I'll give her 6 copper then.
Thank you.
How-
And she goes
Howard-
back on the bar.
I was gonna say, while all that stuff was happening, I was gonna go and order myself a drink at the bar and then go sit at a table as unobtrusively as possible.
All right. So ordering a drink is no problem. You'll see pretty quickly that the tables are not there are open seats, but you'll pretty much end up having to share tables. You might be able to share with the people that you've been talking to, but there's no way that anyone's going to find a private booth by themselves or anything like that. It's just too crowded in here. There is a warm hearth fire, and there is somebody in a corner that has begun playing some music. You see a young woman with kind of like a goat leg thing happening, little horns curling up, and she has what looks like a violin that she is beginning to string. Or beginning to bow, I think. You bow the violin.
Okay. I didn't realize that everybody was sitting at a table, but if everybody else is sitting at a table, then I'll definitely go back and sit at that table, just unobtrusively. Okay. I'll get a drink, quietly walk back up, sit down, not saying anything, not doing anything, just like awkwardly.
There is the only table that looks like it's just one group of people without mingling with anyone else is you see 4 guards, 2 of which passed y'all earlier, sitting by themselves at one table. Everything else very kind of crowded. There is one guy who's being a little bit loud that's not a part of y'all. He's just an elderly man. He's just kind of ranting about you pick up words, something about necromancers and demon magics and just evil people. He has that kind of cadence that you get going when you're just an old and possibly crazy man on a rant about how society's falling.
I see. He's one of those people. So I sit on in the table, as best I can, directing, like putting myself in a position where I am completely hidden from sight from that psychopath.
Right.
He's grumpily talking.
I was just gonna say when Twinkle orders the drinks. My character looks at her and goes, "I'm Esri Darkstone. My friend and I appreciate the hospitality."
Of course, please. Will you join us? I'd love to find out more about both of you.
So,
sure, why not?
So, like, as a thank you to Twinkle giving him the drink, he takes out a gold coin from his pocket, hands it to her, and goes, "Thank you for the drink, pat."
I give my warmest, charmingest smile. Ding.
And also, I want to add a little character moment too. When Tom notices the third arm on White Ape, he gives a little smile and like crooks his other arm over his shoulder and like waves them.
Oh, look, you have something in common.
I wave my 3 arms too.
Who else wants one?
I've made a friend for my arm situation.
This will be a party thing. I'm gonna give everybody a damn arm. We're doing this.
I take out a piece of paper and start writing down details about the interactions that I'm seeing.
Yeah, my character, just to reiterate, he's very short, 1.4 meter. I think that's less than 5 feet. He wears wooden armor. He carries a staff. He has one arm. It goes all the way up. If you check, it goes to his shoulder, made of stone. And he's an elf. He's got swept back ears, and he has, it looks like ram horns that sweep back over his head, and they kind of twist. Yeah, that's about it.
To reiterate for my character, Erda is a very tall elf standing at 2 meters, so I think that's close to like 6.5 feet. He is very, very thin, like unnaturally thin for being that tall. He is dressed in a very plain, almost like grungy looking robe. Like it's the only piece of clothing that he owns. Has a big bag with him. He's currently writing on a bunch of paper with a quill and ink in the middle of a bar. And if once you see underneath his robes, he has a very alien looking face with very big black eyes, much like Esri, but he has very pale skin and also very black hair. And I guess that's it. He has like a big sword with him too, but he's not like carrying it like, on his back. That's about it.
So the guy that's been kind of going on is starting to get a little bit louder because a couple of people have started to actually listen to him. So unfortunately with these people, whenever you have one person who's ranting, the size of his audience seems to magnify his voice. In this case, the man is just like, yeah, and my neighbor, he killed a dog and he brought it back. I knew he was a necromancer. That's why I told the guards. And then I saw a girl once and she was just bringing men back to her house. I knew she was definitely one of them. They're called a succubi. And that they do is they entice men. And those men look different when they came out. I'm telling you, she did things. And then you can't trust nobody. And as he's just going on and just on like this, the doors open again. And this time a flurry of snow comes in with it as the weather's picked up outside. And a woman walks in. She looks almost emo goth with her. She's a tall, thin woman with long dark hair with some gray in it. She would look kind of plain if not for the dark eye makeup and the dark lipstick. And she says, guards, that is the man that attacked me. And when she says that, the 4 guards that were sitting alone at the table stand up and turn and immediately begin approaching the loud man. At this point, I would like, sorry, let me get your names right. Where is your names? I lost everybody. No, I found you. Erda, go ahead and make a perception check.
Is that like search?
I'm sorry. It's an acumen, and in your case, I think you're the right person for this. Yeah, you are. Yeah, it would be search.
Ooh. Nice. 11.
Ooh. All right. Because this is something that only you would notice. When those 4 guards stood up and started to walk towards that man, first, anybody might have picked up on this, that at no point did they look at her or where she pointed. But something that really caught your eye is they actually followed her finger point without looking. And they have a gait to them that is lockstep, but not quite normal, not quite what you would expect from humans.
Are they wearing like full armor?
They are wearing full armor. You cannot see their faces.
Okay.
Everybody else can react normal. We're not in combat rounds. It's just something that Erda noticed that the rest of you may not have. And also, apologies, Carlos, when you sent that, I wasn't looking at it.
That's okay.
There you could not have discreetly gone over there.
Yeah, I realize that now. It's fine.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have worked. Sorry, I had a different window open, so I didn't see your thing. I apologize. I'll try and keep that open now.
No problem. I'm watching anxiously to see what's going to happen.
Okay. The soldiers are marching towards the man. Everybody's kind of getting out of their way because they're soldiers in full armor with drawing weapons, and generally people don't want to be in front of that. The guy's like looks at the soldiers and he looks just like straight up lost, like he is confused. He's looking around. He's definitely sure they're coming to him. He's like, I don't know who she is. I don't. Would you all like to take an action before I continue describing? You don't have to interact. This is just happening in front of you.
I want to get a feel for the room. I want to look around.
I'm looking at everybody else like, do I do something?
Everybody looks as surprised and confused as y'all do. Nobody seems to know what's happening exactly. No, you don't hear anybody going, oh, look, it's Cindy or anything at the woman that walked in. Nobody seems to know who she is. They're mostly reacting to the fact that 4 armed guards are approaching what might have been an annoying, possibly crazy old man, nobody wants to see him get slaughtered in the middle of the inn. If you're looking around, go ahead and make a search check. That's kind of the perception of this game.
Yeah, I think I'll do one too.
All right, feel free. Anyone who'd like to look around and see what's going on, go ahead and make a search.
What kind of skill is search?
Understand the feel of what people are thinking. That would be more of a, I think it's called Streetwise under Acumen. And if you don't have it, it's just Acumen.
Okay.
Okay, so we would just roll acumen.
Right.
So would it be like 3d6
Wait,
then if I have 3
Howard,
acumen?
did these guys draw weapons, the guards?
You
Yeah, you can just click acumen.
Yeah, you can just click the Acumen button. If you have the skill, click the button next to the skill. If you don't have the skill, just click Acumen.
These guys they drew weapons on this?
Yes,
dude?
they are drawing weapons and advancing on the man. The woman walked in, said that's the man, he attacked me. Well, she said, guards, that's the man, he attacked me. And the guards stood up and immediately advanced on him and started pulling weapons, which seems like it's all happening very fast. I'm going to ask some questions real quick because y'all are rolling dice, and I just saw that it doesn't actually tell me what you're rolling. So I'm going to have to double check here. It's not y'all's fault. This is our first time using this character sheet, everybody. All right. So I know what Bob from accounting is because that's Erda. Matt, Tom, are you rolling to search the room, or are you rolling streetwise to understand what the people are doing? What are you aiming at?
Probably to observe what's going on. He's a little confused with the situation because
but like specifically I need to know which answer to give you. Like, are you trying to understand people's emotions? Are you looking at faces? Are you looking around for a specific object? Are you searching the room for like a way out?
he's looking to kind of understand the situation of what's going on.
All right.
Like,
Well, 'cause you got a good roll. I just want to understand. So that's going to be a streetwise check. All right. And then Esri, what were you doing? About the same?
Same thing. Just
Streetwise?
trying to like get a feel for the room.
And Carlos, what was
I hit the button twice. It's the first one. I'm basically what I'm trying to do is determine if there's a way I can intercede or stop this potential slaughter from happening.
Interesting. All right.
I
will. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I am going to create that distraction. Actually, that was my action.
Okay.
My specifically, like what I'm looking for is maybe there's like a chandelier or something that I could like make fall on the guards or do something.
I will answer these questions, then we'll get to Corey's action, and there we go. So let me go ahead and answer these questions real quick. Then Corey can roll whatever craziness he's doing. Starting with Matt, Tom, you have a very high roll here. So you look around, you survey the room, and most everyone here is reacting in just shock. A lot of people are slinking away. Nobody wants to be in the path of 4 armed guards. You with that roll, you pick up you see one guy who's wiping something off the table. It looks like it's cash, but you're not real familiar, but you're familiar enough to go, those are coins. He's like wiping into a bag real quick and looking for a quick way to dart out. You get an impression that he may not be a nice person and he might be trying to get away with something because the guards are acting and he's reacting that way. And the other person you see that's doing something other than what your party is doing is the woman that was behind the counter. She has gone under the counter and she has grabbed something. It looks like she's about to stand back up. But she doesn't, you see no fear in her eyes. Esri, you had the same basic question. But you didn't roll quite as high. I'm going to say that you did notice the woman behind the counter, but you did not notice the guy scraping up money and trying to make his way out the back. Carlos, there is an old style chandelier with lit candles. It hangs on a chain. If you were to get on it, you don't know that you have enough weight.
I was thinking if it's being held up with a rope, if I could like.
No, it's a chain.
Okay.
And it's like the big solid wooden beams that are making up the roof, and it's planted deep in there, the hook for the chain. You don't guarantee that you'd be enough to pull it down, but maybe if everybody jumped on it with you. The best way for you to stop guards, if they react like normal guards, you might be able to use your little girl shtick, but you don't know for sure that would stop them. They seem intent more intent than normal guard. Like they just got up and started marching towards this guy, and like gonna steamroll anyone get in their way, and people are jumping out of the way. So you're not sure what the best way, just from looking around the room, to do that, to stop them would be. I mean, you could grab a bottle and throw it at them, then add yourself as a target. And that add some chaos. All right, and Corey, what would you like to do?
As everybody's looking around and these guards step forward and draw weapons, my eyes go wide and I'm like, what?
Also, the music stops.
Yeah, the music stops. And this guy is an old man who is unarmed. I can't let this happen.
Okay.
But I can't, like, defy guards. I can't fight a city guard. So I drop to the ground, put all of my arms on the floor, and I send vibrations into the earth and create a small tremor in this area. It's not gonna like hurt people. It probably won't be enough to like knock somebody down, but it'll, like, glasses will.
I think the effects are based off of your roll, right?
So
no, you pick the effect and then you roll it.
So
yeah, okay.
That is what I'd like to create. I have the tremor skill for my stone sheet.
Right. So you can add that die or however many dice you put in that skill to the original. In other words, just click the die next to the tremor, not next to extra normal.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
You know how in some game systems, if you're a magic user, you can like tell other magic users. Is that something you can do in this game, or would we have any idea if she did something to them?
No, I would give you that anyone that casts magic is aware that carrying metal makes it harder for you to cast, and the more you carry, the more incredibly hard it is to control mana. So you could assume that anyone walking around in a suit of armor probably isn't a caster, or at least isn't going to cast anything soon.
we don't have any way of knowing if she's somehow doing something to them.
Not necessarily. You are aware that if you are a caster, then you are aware that you normally need to make a verbal and somatic, you got to say something and gesture to make something happen. So if you don't gesture, you don't say anything, it just increases the target number. It becomes harder to do if you don't do that, because that just helps you to focus the magic.
I am gesturing.
But you can skip those things.
Yes, I am gesturing.
Sorry, what did you say, Corey?
I am gesturing.
You are.
Yeah.
Did you say anything? Because it does increase.
Yeah, I will. I will say magical words. Yes.
You can say something in your native Elven, however you like to do it.
I will say something in Stone Speak, so the spirits understand me.
All right, you do your thing, and a tremor is felt. Everyone feels the tremor in the floor. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and say that we're going to call this initiative, but I will tell you the result of your roll is while they shake some, none of them are going to fall down. You didn't roll that high, but they continue forward as if they don't seem to notice.
Can I take my action?
Well, your action was to notice. You had a specific thing that you would notice while everybody else was noticing their thing. And
okay.
jumped on the floor with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at this point, though, it looks like we're all going to just go into initiative. So I need everyone to make I believe it is acumen. Make an acumen roll, and the highest goes first.
By the way, you can change your name on Roll20 by clicking the gear icon, and display name should be right up there at top.
All right, what is my name? Oh, mine says Game Master. I'm happy.
Okay, I'm sorry. You said roll acumen, right?
Right. Acumen determines your initiative.
Somebody rolled a 1 on their wild die. I did.
All right. Oh no.
That last die you roll
it's supposed
is
to take that into account.
What's the wild die?
That's Matt's.
Matt and me both rolled a 1 on our wild die. The final die you roll is your wild die. Just so you know.
All right. So
That bad?
What is that supposed to mean?
All right. So in this game, when we roll dice, if you're making a skill check, initiative check, whatever you're checking, you roll the dice. One of the d6s, and back when it was all tabletop, one of the d6s would be a different color than the others. Like you'd have one black one and all the rest are white. And that's your wild die. If it rolls a 6, you get to roll it again and keep adding. And if it rolls a 1, you take away that 1 and you take away the highest die. It created a chance for a really amazing roll on something you might not have gotten even succeed at, or a chance to totally flub something you're usually good at. It basically created a little bit of chaos and random chance in the game, better than the normal dice would. But that's all it does. It doesn't do anything too bad unless you crit fail, which is if you crit succeed, that's one thing that's where basically you go well over your target number. And if you crit fail, that is when you have a failure on the wild die or 1 on the wild die, and you don't even make the base target number what you're trying to do, then you're crit fail, and that's usually just means something embarrassing happens.
I have a question, a clarification.
Yes.
We don't count our highest die. Do we count the wild die still?
What do you mean?
So I rolled a 6, 4,
let me
1.
see here.
Is my initiative 4 or 5?
All right, hang on. I'm looking for your roll here in the chat. Let's see. You're Winterborn.
Yeah, I rolled
a
6, 4, 1.
Mm-hmm.
I take away the 6. Does that mean my initiative is a 5? Or is it a 4?
All right. So yeah, see, I wasn't sure about using this character sheet for this reason. I wasn't sure how well it actually been calibrated, and it looks like it's failing because your initiative should be a 4.
Okay, so you
based
don't
on
count
that roll.
You don't count the wild die either when it's a 1.
Right. The 1 goes away and the top die.
Okay.
The highest roll.
So
die.
I'll just write it what I got. My initiative is 4.
All right. I'm going to just keep track of initiative separately because the initiative box, I don't see an initiative box. I don't know how to do it.
It's the little clock on the left-hand side, the little clock icon.
Oh. All right. I've never done this
Turn
before.
order.
Yeah, I don't know how to do this. I'm just going to open a notepad.
All right.
Corey goes at 4. Esri, Sarah, what's yours?
Let's see.
Unless
So
you
what
have
do we?
your wild dice, whatever the last number is, the one that's in parentheses by itself.
It looks like it didn't count my last one.
Okay.
Yeah, it
well,
did. What are you talking about?
5
Oh
plus
no,
5.
you know what? I only had 2 die.
Yeah,
All right, so you
it's
got 10.
Yeah. Because it just says plus 0 on the last, because I guess there wasn't a third die. So
Okay. And then let's see. I got a 10 also for Erda. And then now you got me want to call him Sparkle.
Twinkle. 9.
sorry.
She's ruined your Sparkle now.
Remember I asked you which one of those I was going to go with Sparkle or Twinkle, so it might evolve.
All right.
I'm picturing like Twilight Sparkle now.
Yeah.
And then I don't see Matt. There's Matt. You got a 1 on the wild die, so he got a total of 10.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Column is 10. All right. Let me roll these real quick. That was an accident. Ignore that one because nobody has 1 die. All right. So soldiers going 11. Take that, guys.
Nice. I swear I didn't realize acumen was the initiative die.
All right. Goes on 9.
I don't know why I thought it was agility.
It's your perception of what's going on allows you to choose when to act in the turn order.
That makes sense.
And then she would go on that. Cool. All right. All right. So this the turn order, the first to act is actually the lady behind the bar.
Nice. It would be nice to see what she does.
she went under the bar. I know at least one person saw her dive under the bar to grab something and then stand up. And as she did, she comes up and she's holding a staff, and she points it at the guards and yells, "Halt!" And as she does, the staff emits a burst of light. Oh, ignore that. I got to quit clicking that. Ignore that completely.
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Basically, yes. Please do that. Ignore me. Ignore me. All right. All right. Unfortunately, she was targeting all 4, and that increased her TN, so that actually does miss. She was trying. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. Aha! It's a 6 on the wild die. I get to roll again. Ah. She does make it. Wild die saves the day. All right, so she casts something through the staff, and the 4 soldiers are bathed in light, and you hear a weird sound, kind of like bacon sizzling, and there's a stinky smell now starts to fill the room. But they don't like turn and do anything. They are still where they are in the turn order. And that takes us down to 11 them. I guess they do turn and do something. They continue towards their target. They are after that old man. They advance on him. They're going to surround him, and they're going to start stabbing him with swords, each one taking 1 swipe. Sucks to be an old guy today. Also, y'all just did not make it with the initiative rolls, and my guards with their 2 dice did. So first stab. All right. Ouch. Second stab. That's
He's
good.
dead.
Not yet. Okay. And all right. So the first one kind of cuts into him kind of deep. And he goes, he's just yelling, "Help, no." And as he's yelling and being stabbed to death, he looks at the woman who's accused him, trying to figure out what's going on. And you can see that he's just lost. And finally he goes, he says the word solace, and he points at her, and then he gets stabbed again and again. The second 2 stabs are not as deep as the first 2, but the way wound levels work, as long as they hit, they add a wound level penalty beyond whatever you already have. If you don't have any, then they only do up to that wound level. And in this case, he is now at incapacitated. He needs to make a roll to see if he is dead, or if he passes out. And he has 2 dice to roll because he's just an average guy at a tavern, and he passes out. He is going to bleed out most likely and die if nothing is done now. But there is a chance he's still alive, but he is no longer speaking. That is the turn for the 4 soldiers, which takes us down to the people that act on 10, which are 3 people. Erda, Ezra, and Tom. I'll let y'all decide. You can go by...
Tom has the highest acumen.
Oh, okay. If that's how you would like to work it, I'm fine with that. I will let y'all decide amongst yourselves. If you can't decide, then we'll go by highest acumen.
That seems fair to me.
All right, Tom, what you doing?
So I think what Tom would do, he's not liking the situation because as far as I can tell, Mycelians are not violent against one another. So he's a little perplexed with what these soldiers are doing to the old man. But he's really aware that sharp, pointy things are not supposed to go into you. So he's probably gonna throw some like a pod or 2 to that will like expand in front of the soldiers to sort of like create like a small barrier in front of the old man.
You want to make sudden mushroom shield? I love it.
Yeah, like either grow plant life or the mycelium pods.
Well, I think for you, that's kind of the same role. Isn't that your specialization of growing plant life?
Yes.
All right. So roll the specialization of that skill because it applies here.
All right.
Oh, look at you! Got your wild die. All good. Or wait, no, you don't. Ah, it's the 4 is the wild die, unfortunately.
No,
But
it's
it's still a
not.
really good roll.
No, it's not.
All
The
right,
6
so-
is it?
What?
1, 2, 3, 4. He's rolling. Is he rolls 5 dice for this or 4?
He
Oh.
rolls 5. He has a
Okay.
5 die roll.
Okay,
It
then it's 4.
subtracts
Yeah.
1 and puts it back in as a wild die.
Yeah, got it.
So yes, he rolled it right. Yeah, with the 22, you go like this and grow some pods in your hand, some little like mushroom pods, and you
Mhm.
throw them, and they expand in front of just right over him, and they with like a perfect arc. They grow huge mushroom bulbs, like the top, whatever you call the cap. Huge
Mhm.
mushroom caps form as a shield around him from further stabbing, which will affect them next round if they continue stabbing. But yes, a successful roll. As so that y'all are aware, because this is our first round of combat. If anybody's watching at home and already knew this, I'm telling the players for the first time. You can take multiple actions in a round, but if you do, you're at -1 die for each action. In other words, if you wanted to do that 3 times, you could, but instead of rolling it at 5 dice, because the extra 2, you'd be at -2 dice. You could make it at 3 die rolls and do it 3 times. But you did it at 5 dice, so you only get 1 action. Does that make sense?
Okay. I
Cool.
wasn't aware of that, but cool. Nice to know.
If you mix it up with different types of actions, the minus still applies. So if you only have 2 dice in an action, you're already at a -3. You can't do that one. You're not good enough to do that one when you're in a hurry. So that's how it works. You've done your action, so your turn's kind of over. And we will go on to the next, which is we still have 2 people to vie for who goes next. Erda and Ezra.
I have a 3 acumen.
Yours is higher than mine.
Okay. I am going to.
No, my apologies. It's Ezri, not Ezra, right?
Ezri, yes.
I'm going to run
Crime.
over to the man and attempt to stabilize him using my healer's kit, my physics.
Okay. Yeah, you can reach underneath the caps to look at him. As you're not really attacking, and I don't think it's a state action that he wants to stop you from that. I'm not going to say the caps impede you, but you got to kind of like get under them to work it. As you see that these things have taken root into the ground and just within seconds have spread into full-size giant mushrooms. Giant for a mushroom. They're not 6 feet tall or anything, but they're a good foot off the ground. And the cap is each cap that has spread over this man is a good like 1.5 feet, 2 feet in diameter circle. I mean, they're huge, and they just popped up like that. But as you look at the man and you want to try and stabilize him, you can make a medicine check. If you have a specialization in medicine for stabilizing, you can roll that. If not, just straight medicine.
I actually do. I have a specialization in stabilize.
Oh, well then cool.
Nice.
Roll that.
Very cool.
All right. That defeats the TN. Yes, you are able to quickly get like some rags in there and just stop the bleeding with one hand. And then with your other hand, you're able to like position his head and like reach up so he's breathing up, and you're like checking his vitals. And he's bleeding bad. His major issue here is honestly just that he's been used as a pincushion. So as you're stopping the bleeding, you think that he if you keep pressure on this for right now, he will live. But added stabbings are not going to do him any good.
That's fair.
Okay, so what I want to know as well is, well, actually, because I don't know if anybody else can actually do any kind of healing or try to.
Not really. I mean, you just met some of these people.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm not thinking that they can. So, at the end of my turn, I just glare a turn and kind of give a no way of telling the emotional state glare at the woman who pointed to have this man killed.
All right. Everybody sees that you look pissed. All right. At this point, it'd be Esri then.
Okay, so we can pretty much gather that the soldiers are not acting normally, right? That something weird's going on.
They reacted very fast, and they didn't question it when a random woman walks in, said that guy attacked me. And
Right.
you don't expect the cops to just leap up and beat the crap out of the guy without some sort of explanation.
It's bizarre behavior. Yeah.
And they
so
didn't even flinch when the tremor happened.
Yeah, I
That's
have a
super
theory
weird.
I have a theory on what's going on, and I'm going to make the woman who started all this the target of what
Okay.
I'm going to do.
That's
And
fair.
I'm going to do that thing that I have a specialization in.
Okay, cool. You do that thing.
Okay, so do I roll my specialization?
Yes.
Okay, she's my target.
And then we'll see what target number is. Then you're going to describe it if it works.
Okay.
Looking pretty good.
Wild die exploded.
Yeah, it did. It sure did. All right, let me double check your character real quick, make sure I get it right. It'd probably help if I click your character and not the picture of your character. There we go. All right. I guess I should describe it. Let's see. Well, you can describe it. I mean, it's the shadowy things that emerge. Everybody's going to see it.
You go full
Yeah,
on
but
somber. Or...
but I don't know what you're going to have to define what they look like.
Yeah, that's true. All right. For her, yeah, actually, it would be pretty specific. You see, is the strangest thing. The guards that are stabbing this man, it's almost like their shadows get up, and a shadowy version of the guards themselves turn and begin to run directly at the woman with their swords out. Although these guards look more agile and more lifelike, and yet shadows. It's very strange. It's the weirdest thing, and they just start like trying to slash at her, and she looks, well, she probably looks terrified actually, based on what this spell is, and she can't resist because it's not her action yet. So you get to roll your magic damage, which is let me look at your character. Roll 2 dice. Roll 2 dice. There's no wild die in it, so just roll 2d6. There's no wild die in damage.
Okay, so it's not a button I'm going to click. I have to actually
Yeah,
select.
just go to the
2d6.
D20 off on the left there in that strip of different icons.
Yeah. Okay.
When you click it,
Gotcha.
you'll see the D6 is an option. Make it 2 of them and roll them.
All right, 2d6. Got it.
I was disappointed when I found out that you put weapons and spells and stuff in here, and it doesn't actually give you a button to roll those things after putting them in.
Right.
All right. So
I clicked it. Did I not click it?
it came out twice. You just stop clicking it.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear it roll.
Both times you got the same number result, so it's fine.
Okay. I just didn't hear it roll.
Yeah. All right. And with that, looks to me like she is wounded. I'm gonna flip to the wound chart. Yeah, she is now wounded. Essentially, their shadowy swords of these soldiers cut into her. And as she screams, a big wound appears on her chest, and real blood begins to sleep out from this weird shadowy blade in this shadow person's hand. And she is now wounded, which means you are 1 die down on all future rolls until you've healed that. So that's how wound penalties work. That should be your action. So we will move on.
Okay.
After tens, I have 9, which is
That's me.
Twinkle and the lady who is wounded. She's wounded.
No.
I'll let you go first.
Okay. Well, I was going to launch myself at her and try to attack her. I don't know how far away I am from her physically, but I do have a couple of ways to get there.
It is the way this works, you can move up to 10 meters, and when you move on your turn, you're down 1 die for all other actions, because moving is considered an action, even though you
Okay.
don't have to roll it. So you can walk up to her or run up to her, but it will cost you a little bit in your whatever attack you're using.
Well, yeah, I have
Unless you have a
special-
ranged attack, in which case do it from a range.
Do you have a ranged attack? I could try that, but the penalty for moving would still give me a better chance. So I think I'll just move and take the penalty.
Understood.
So
Stab
I
is-
have. This is my roll, but like, do I roll it and then just take off one of the dice, or do I?
What you can do is you just basically you can take the die off on the roll, then click the button, and then put the die back for the future reference.
Okay, here we go then. That's my
Really
roll.
it really doesn't have a good way to do that, honestly.
Well, there you go.
That's
that was -1.
Still a heck of a roll.
Yeah.
All right, you have definitely hit her. Go ahead and roll damage. This is a strength-based attack. So, yeah, because it's not magic. Therefore, it's your strength. What is your physique?
My physique is a 2.
2? All right.
And
then your
the
base
dagger
strength damage is 1 die. And then the
Okay.
dagger does what?
You said 3D.
3D?
For the dagger. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then it should be, that's a lot for a dagger. Is that already counting your strength, maybe?
Maybe it was. It might be
Okay.
3D all day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then go ahead and roll 3D then.
Okay. Gotcha, boss. I'll just roll this because this is 3D.
Oh, damn.
That's 2 6s on wild dice.
There you go, baby.
Well, she has armor on, technically. It is only 1 die worth of armor, but maybe she'll get lucky and not auto die. No, wait. Because we don't get a wild die for armor either. So how do you want to do this?
You get a wild die on attack, but you don't get a wild die on armor?
Not on damage or armor, no.
Oh, well, then he didn't roll that because he
Oh,
rolled a
right. That's
wild
his
die with
damage.
that.
Never mind.
So it's
yeah,
4,
damage
5,
doesn't do
It's still 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6, yes, but it's not an auto death roll. I was like, dang. Yeah, sorry.
So it's like a 15.
Yeah, it's 15. That is still an insane hit. She goes down. But let me roll her 1 die of armor, see if she can take some of that off. Oh yeah, she does not go down. Good armor. She paid well for it. She is only, let's see, that brings down to 9 points. Incapacitated. She has to make a quick stamina check to not pass out. Or, she'll pass out.
I guess we'll have to wait till next turn to see how that affects the soldiers.
Yeah.
Unless she just passes out. I think, yeah, if she passed out.
Well, she
Good
rolled
night.
1 on her
She's
wild
done.
die.
You would
She
think.
passes out. Okay. She stops moving. She passes out. She is laying there. She is bleeding on the floor. So her turn is to bleed. The soldiers continue to act, but I will tell this to the casters. If they are mind controlled or if they are golems or zombies or whatever it is you're thinking, when you create a magical effect, it can stay up. Oh, wait, no, I take it back. There is a concentration involved. So she's dead. She didn't make her roll. So no, yeah, they drop.
Okay.
The soldiers are standing there holding their things, ready to swing again, and they just fall to the floor like limp marionettes.
Okay, that's what I was expecting. That if we could knock her out, they would stop.
Yeah, and they did.
Okay.
Yeah, if it made it to her turn, she was going to leave. But so much for that plan.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the soldiers will fall down as she falls, and that was on 9, which brings us to 4. Sorry, Corey. Is there anything you'd like to do?
There was, but it's taken care of now. I had this great plan where she was in the doorway and I'd whistle and the goat would jump in and knock her forward. It's not happening anymore. It was
Aw.
brilliant in my
The goat-
mind, but
you could still
initiative
do
said
it.
no.
You
That
could
was
still,
brilliant.
you could still do it.
I am
But
sad
he
we
would
don't
just
get to see it,
trample her.
but doing it now
Right.
makes no sense. So.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But I will put my nose to the air and say, why does it smell like goat shit in here?
Actually, it smells like burnt bacon. It's not a good smell.
Yeah, it's not.
Ugh. And kind of like decay.
Actually,
Also.
I'm gonna look at the chick behind the bar and say, "Can you tell us what that was all about?"
Nah, I've never seen them before. I've seen him before. She points to the guy on the floor. He's always in here ranting about something, but I don't know who the rest of them are.
I walk
gonna
up
start-
since it's
I'm gonna
technically
patch
my
up the girl on the
initiative.
ground, but I'm
Technically-
not gonna bring her too. I just want to patch her up. She
Technically,
doesn't
it's
die.
my
Can
initiative. It was
someone
my
please?
initiative.
Can
I'm
someone
gonna-
please? This guy's gonna die if he doesn't.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
I thought you stabilized him.
pull the helmet off one of the guards.
All right, I need Carlos to make a medicine check. If you don't have medicine,
Oh, I do. Oh, I have lots. Don't worry.
oh, okay, cool.
I even have a physical kit if I need it.
Yeah, you'll need it. Now that'll make it easier. That lowers the TN if you have the right tools.
Well, that's my role.
Well, then you are good to go, sir. You are able to stop the bleeding. You see that the wound, because with that roll, the wound that you're stopping up, it looks like she was cut by a real sword, even though you saw what appeared
the
to be
shadow
the
sword.
shadow of those guards get up and go attack her. It looks to you like a real sword cutter, and you are able to stop the bleeding. She is still unconscious.
Yeah, I
in
wanna-
fact, both unconscious for D10D6 seconds, something like that. It's less than I think it's or 10D6 minutes. I don't know. We'll go with minutes.
I
I'll
look
it
at the
up
lady
later.
behind the bar and I say, "Can we put her somewhere to keep her incapacitated?"
All right, she's going to be out for 3 minutes, and the other guy's going to be out for 3 minutes. They wake up simultaneously.
I'm gonna pull off. I'm gonna pull off the helmet of one of the guards.
All right. Well, he's dead. And his all of his flesh is seared and cooked and gross. But
Nice.
you know that had to happen?
I
I
say,
guess
I say, this crazy old man isn't crazy. He was right.
he was. That explains why she wanted him dead.
Okay,
What?
before this lady wakes up, I wanna like put her in like a room or tie her up or do something to her because I think she'll do the same thing again.
No,
This
just-
time it might be me that she makes do that bad stuff.
Yeah, I think we probably need to have her tied and gagged so she can't use her voice or her hands.
The woman behind the bar goes, I'll give y'all free room and board for the night if you can get all of these bodies out of here now. I want to operate
Done.
tonight.
I'll look at her and say, "Done."
Okay, so
Come on,
she gave us
guys.
a room. I drag this chick to a room.
Okay.
I pick her up. Take her to the room. Bring the old man. I'll fix him
Yeah,
up.
but I'll look at you and I'll say, "I'm serious. Make sure she can't speak or wave her hands around."
I let them deal with that.
I
and
look at the bodies.
Okay.
Tom,
The dead
Tom
bodies.
is a little confused with the bodies. He just saw them.
And
drop.
here's what I do. I look really creepy. This is gonna be real creepy, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk over to the dead bodies and then start like looking at them with like weird awe and like reverence, trying to figure out what the hell what did I just watch?
Necromancy.
All right. You could make a scholar check to try and understand what happened based on your knowledge.
Okie dokie.
So the general group is aware at this point. Everyone did clear out as quickly as they could. So the only people that were still in the room just now is the bartender, you guys, the two bodies on the six bodies now on the floor, as well as the satyr violinist. But she's packing up her stuff. Like she just had a lot of stuff out that she's just trying to put away. It's not that she wanted to stay or anything. She's just like,
She's still trying to haul
just give
tail
me
out
a
of there.
but she has
please.
instruments and she had her whole setup there to collect money, and she didn't want to run out on her stuff because she didn't
Yeah.
think she was the target of the guards.
Right.
That's her
I'm
livelihood.
literally,
You-
literally
if-
gonna hog tie this chick and put her in the room and lock her in a closet if I can or something.
Really, when that's your livelihood, you risk your life for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's how she lives. So
Yeah. I'm going to haul the bodies out, and then I'm going to double check to make sure that that she not only tied but gagged her.
okay.
I-
She didn't say gag, so you're welcome to gag her. She did a good job of tying though.
I am going.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure she
Did I-
can't cast.
Can I ask real quick? Did I learn anything from?
All right, let me look at your roll real quick. Yeah. All right. So based on that roll, do you want me to send it to you privately, or do you want me to say it?
Sure. Yeah. Send it to me privately.
All right, I'll do that.
Um,
All right. While I type that, what did you want to say, Corey? Go ahead.
I just once the entrance is clear, I'll whistle for the goat to come in so we can put the bodies on the goat and lead the goat out to wherever we're going to dispose of those bodies.
I run out and see if I can get anything
Sounds
from
like a good
those
plan.
bodies before they roll off. I might need some ingredients, so I go.
All right.
"Wait, hold on.
We loot the bodies.
All right. So that you're aware, assuming they weren't supernatural guards, they wouldn't have the kind of ingredients an alchemist would need. You don't normally have to harvest.
Okay,
people.
I didn't know for sure because I hadn't
Yeah.
seen, so I was like, okay,
So,
maybe
yeah,
golems
we can
or-
still-
that's a fair thing to ask.
Yeah.
We can still loot the bodies, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying you don't need to take their tongues and livers and stuff, unless you just
Aw, damn it.
are hungry.
I am virgin.
Well, I guess you don't have to.
You know what? For that matter, I asked if I can have that piece of your finger back. White ape. I was like, can I have that finger back? The one that fell off? Do you need it?
Yeah, I do. I guess not anymore. Ugh. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Since
By
my other
the
arm
extra
just
arm only lasts for an hour,
yeah,
so I don't know.
since
when
my
it's gonna
other
go
arm
away.
just disappeared, I guess I do need
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
pick. I'm very careful of the stones I pick for the correct articulation.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. How about the pod? The pod that the mushroom just threw out, is it still there on the ground? Can I have that?
Certainly.
Start looking at the pod, and examining it, and I'll roll scholar if you want. I want to figure out how I can utilize this pod in some way.
I look
Tom's,
at Tom and go, that was a pretty nifty trick there.
And in the meantime, between everything else that was going on, are there still any bodies left, or have we already gone past that point? Because in that point, Tom would have looked a little confused and not too sure whether or not he should pick up the bodies, because they were animated at one point and all of a sudden they just dropped, and it still hasn't really registered with him whether those things were alive or dead or permanent.
I'll look at him and say, they're dead. It's okay.
Yeah, but they were just humans, nothing special. Don't worry about it. Howard's still typing to Erda.
I am. Sorry.
It's okay. We'll definitely role play among ourselves.
Sorry, I'll be right there. All right.
But
Yeah, I basically look at Tom and go, this is what happens to them when they die.
so he'll just go ahead and work on getting the bodies out, and we'll probably start loading them on the goat. After he sees a white ape load them on the goat too.
When you
Yeah.
start loading them, I'm like, thank you, Mister. Thank you. 'Cause I'm
Goodness.
as I'm so small, I'm like tiny compared to you.
As
He's like,
you,
let me
you guys
help you with
notice,
that, little man.
as y'all are loading them in, my character's almost like he's performing an autopsy. He's going through with a fine-tooth comb, trying to look at all the stuff as you're trying to load them on. You might have to bat his hands away at some point, but I
Oh,
will
no.
pull something but right before you get the last one onto the back of the goat, I pull something. I'm fiddling with the body, and then I pull something away from the body, and have it in my hand.
Do you want to make like a not? I guess a hide check to hide something on your person, or
Or is
Sure.
it
Hide is acumen, right?
obvious?
yes, it is.
Tom will just kind of look at
It's
your.
it's a
actions,
coordination
like,
sleight of hand if you don't want them to see you like taking something from the body. But if you don't care if they see it, and you just want to hide on your person, that's an acumen hide.
Yeah. Okay. So 11.
Or you could do both, whatever you're doing. All right. So that was hide.
That was hide.
Okay. So somewhere on your body there's a something, but nobody knows. Nobody really inspected you while you did it, so it's gone.
Taking the pod, and I'm going back to the room with the girl in it, and I'm gonna sit in there and examine the pod while I keep an eye on the girl.
The pod, the mushroom pod.
Yeah, I want to like do like a scholarly check on this, how I can utilize it in some fashion or what it is,
Sure.
or yeah.
Absolutely. You can sit there and study it. That'll take you a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So that y'all know, for anyone that was looting, the soldiers each were wearing chainmail. They had the tabards that look like the flag of Vallanthia. It's the same tabard that the guards at the front gate had on. The guards at the front gate, they had the chainmail coif, that like covers your head, but your face is out. These guys had that, but then on top of it, they had a full metal helmet that covered their face. So nobody saw their faces before this happened, which none of you are really from Vallanthia or from Valanth, the city, and none of you really are human and hang out in the human military to be aware of was the appropriate way to wear what outfits. But you're aware that they had a full metal plate mail helmet on their chainmail armor, and that they were wearing the tabards. They each had a sword. You could grab those. They're short swords. I'm sorry. They're long swords. They use long swords. And that's it. They did not have any money on them, which is a little unusual. You'd imagine even the guard occasionally has to stop and get a drink.
Howard.
No additional equipment on them. And if you really looted, they weren't wearing anything underneath the armor. It's more like somebody put the armor on them.
Well, I'll start checking Missy in the room because I'm sure she has some stuff on her.
Missy. Well, she has on her. She had a bag over one shoulder that was kind of slung back behind her. A black leather bag. She was wearing just it was a heavy padded silk garment, robe, I guess.
Yeah, that was her armor one.
Yeah, that's the armor one.
Yeah.
And then she had a dagger that looks kind of ornate and gothy.
Ooh, that's mine now.
All right. It adds 1d to your strength damage if you swing it at someone.
Awesome.
And it has a red jewel in it. It's very pretty. Could be a ruby, could be fake. You don't know. And then inside the bag, the bag has just one book in it, and it is. If you open it and look through the book, it's got a lot of symbols and pictures and Vallanthian writing.
So pretty.
Very, way too many skulls in this book. Very gothy.
I tossed it behind me on the bed.
Girl.
I tossed the book behind me on the bed. Oh, yeah, it's a picture book. We're good.
Use that to roll and make some smokes later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
This is not Twinkle's aesthetic. Skulls.
Once I steal my finger, I'm gonna go over to where the person took the lady.
If it was a unicorn,
Where
I'd
the
be
lady
keeping
took the other lady.
It's a dead unicorn.
Oh,
Hey.
Hey.
is she like conscious again at any point?
Yeah, it takes her 3 minutes and then she wakes up.
She's probably angry.
Actually, the old man will wake up slightly before her and just be like, help me.
Poor
He looks
thing. I'll go.
confused.
I'm assuming he's stabilized, but I'll go doctor him up again while I'm waiting.
He looks at you and goes, "You're a cute kid. Got any whiskey?"
Grab whatever's in the cup next to me and pour it down his gullet.
Oh, that's just water.
No, I think it was cider. I think
that's right, it was
I think it was cider. Yeah.
Oh, that's. You have to wait until it ferments. This is no good.
Does Erda come in the room?
Yeah, I was heading into the room.
He wants whiskey. Can you get some whiskey, please? Pretty
What-
please with sugar on top. Smile. Ting.
What is whiskey?
I don't know. There's a human drink.
The bartender then.
Yeah, I think the bartender might know. Hey, here's this book I found. It's got some pretty pictures in it. I'll toss it to you. But bring the whiskey quickly, please.
All right. Assuming you look through the book,
Yeah.
as you walk and thumb through it, with your knowledge as a wizard, there a lot of the symbols in here are definitely necromantic. I won't make you make the scholar check for that, but beyond that, you can't read it. It's not a language you know, and also, and this is the first time I ever made a book in common, and nobody can read it.
The irony.
Because we're all strange aliens in what's supposed to be a familiar land.
So you can't read the writing. You recognize some necromantic symbols, but you, without a lot of study, to sit down and really read through it, you wouldn't be able to make out what they might even be, especially without being able to read it.
That's fair.
And yes, when you get to the bartender, what do you need? Thank you for getting rid of the mess.
Yes, the old man wants whiskey.
That's as usual. I'm glad he's all right. And she pours him a bottle of some brown fluid that if you sniff it, it kind of curls your nose hairs there.
It fiddles your whittle. Now bring it to me quickly.
These humans.
Strange
At this
creatures.
point, you hear, I think y'all put her, did y'all put her in a closet?
Yeah, I got her like in a closet because I didn't want her to be making too much
You
noise.
hear some rustling around. Well, she's going to try and be stealthy. Let's see if you hear it. I already told her she was waking up, so it's
She's
no
a
real shock
master
there.
of escape.
She's
You want me to roll like acumen or something?
Yeah, you can roll acumen.
Is she
She's in
is
the
she
closet
gagged
with
yet at this point?
Okay.
She was.
Yeah,
you
you
gagged
hear
her.
you hear it's not loud, but you hear some slight thumping in the wardrobe, like because it's just not a big enough amount of room to turn around without bumping stuff and try and get loose.
Yeah, I walk over there, open one of the doors, and stick a dagger in, and say, "Quit moving around, or else you're getting poked again."
She stares at you, but she's gagged and she's tied up, and she looks pissed off.
Well, yeah.
Look as mad as you want, Missy, but you better stop moving around. And I poke the dagger at her a little bit.
Sugar's got some spice.
So it
Did
seems.
you see that roll? Sugar's got a hell of a spice.
Do you close the door or you leave it open?
I leave it open so I can see her, but I'm standing right there next to her with the dagger out. So if she
You can tell she's trying to look around you to see what else is in the room and what's going on. As you know, what else you gonna do, right?
I grab a little doily from a chair or something and just wrap it around her head so she can't see.
No, she can see. It's just lacy. Everything just looks lacy.
Everything looks lacy, yes.
Actually,
Slightly-
I'm gonna come
And
back.
I'll
in.
yell out. I'll yell out. Missy's awake.
I'm gonna come back in and talk to her too.
Uber Goth is awake.
Okay.
I'm gonna get really close to her ear and I'm gonna whisper in her ear, I know what you're most afraid of. Unless you want them to come back, you'd better behave.
I like you call her the Uber goth. Look at this girl. This girl had to dress up to try to be goth. The black elf just did it.
Not just them goth, yeah.
She's born
I think
that
we
way.
I think we have a pretty odd dichotomy when we stand next to each other because you're all shadowy and I'm glowy, shiny sparkles.
Does she like stay still or after I say that, or
She's
does she
tied
keep
up.
struggling?
You don't see her struggling. If she's
Okay.
moving, it's very little.
All right.
She had a book on her. I gave it to that guy.
Esri, are you made of Vanta Black?
I don't get it.
Vanta black is a
It's
pigment.
the blackest black you can get. Yeah.
Mhm. Actually, I
Blackest
heard
black.
that there are a few new paints that are even blacker than Vanta black.
Ooh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So,
I
you
come
have
back
her
with
tied up.
whiskey.
You have your rooms paid for the night because you
Ezra.
helped clean up the mess.
I just told you I gave Erdo a book.
Yeah, you gave the book away.
Howard, I think you're skipping something.
What's that?
How do we get rid of the bodies?
You
Hey,
stacked
you
them
said the
up.
goat eats anything.
I was about to say you stacked up the bodies on the goat. I was about to ask what you do with it.
So this is my plan. Me and
The goat eats anything.
and Rudel, we're gonna go into stealth mode, and we're gonna stealth through the city towards a graveyard or a church with a graveyard around it, and we're gonna drop them off at the graveyard.
Boy, I'm glad
I
I
have a
said
feeling
didn't
that's
say
where
I'd
they
go with you.
started out to begin with.
All right. On the
I'd-
outskirts of this town is in fact a large graveyard. This town was built right next to the graveyard for Vallanth. So the graveyard next here is huge. Because Vallanth is the capital city of the entire continent.
So that's the plan, and hope that no guards see us with dead guards.
Go ahead and I would say make a stealth roll, except that you're doing it with a goat carrying. I don't see a way you can really be stealthy.
Do we have? Is there a way we can grab, like? Can I ask the woman for like a blanket to put over the?
Okay. Yeah, you can ask her.
I will. That's.
And to be fair, if he does get caught, they are clearly dead, rotting bodies. So it's
excuse
not
me.
like he looks like he just killed them.
Yeah, but they are.
Excuse me,
Guards.
ma'am. I don't want to be caught out there with bodies. Is there a way we could cover them with a blanket so I can make them look like a pile of?
I'll get you some linens, the cheap ones. She steps into the back and she returns in a moment with some. It looks like these might have once been some white cotton linens, but they're a very dark ivory now. This is very not. They're old. They're ratty, some holes in them.
Mister, can you help me? What I want you to do is me and Rudel will be walking along, and I want you to walk with us but not with us. I want you to walk on the other side of the street from us. So when people see us coming, everyone looks at you because you're so tall and interesting. And not at me.
Okay, so you're talking to Tom. All right,
Yes,
got it.
yes,
I got that.
said
'cause I
your name
remember
was
the whole
Mr.
Mr. exchange from earlier.
yes,
Yeah, he
yes.
said your name was Mister.
Okay. So Tom will nod a yes, and he will walk on the other side of the road, gathering attention. Though he's just kind of taking things in, since this is his first time like experiencing, like, being above ground and just seeing the different buildings, how the culture is.
You're a great
There's dead
distraction.
bodies
That's
on
the
the
important
goats.
part.
Huh?
You're a great distraction. That's the important part.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's looking at you and not at
No,
him.
it's important that
Agree.
he drinks in the culture and understands where he is too. This is character building.
Esri, we should we question Missy?
Do I have to make a roll here? Do I have to make a hide
Yeah.
roll?
I would allow. At this point, it's going to be a charisma check
Okay.
to try and look nonchalant and not interesting. Just pulling your heavily laden beast of burden around, and not as near as interesting as Mushroom Man.
Or would it be like a?
I would
Oh,
allow you to. Yeah, there's no acting on here.
You
Although
should make them both roll, and
Yeah.
if Tom rolls higher than him, then he's more interesting.
Well, no, Tom's not going to roll.
Okay.
Basically, Tom, his use of Tom has changed the target number, and he's going to make a charisma check.
There you go.
But I would allow bluff, I suppose, as being the closest skill if you have it.
I don't have.
He wants to
I got
blave.
charisma.
Blave.
3 dice
All
of
right,
charisma.
just straight charisma. Go for it.
To blame.
That is what I have rolled. I rolled a 9. I hope it's good enough.
All right. You are making your way back out of Thistledale. The way it's shaped, Thistledale is built against the west wall, the west side wall of Vallanthia. And so that's the backs of many of the buildings are in fact the big wall. On the other side are some standalone buildings, and beyond that is the cemetery. So you could try and make it through an alleyway with your heavily laden goat, or you can try and go around the buildings using the main roads. Which route do you take? Because that'll also have changed your target number.
I will take the less traveled routes, like alleyways and things of that.
All right. It's basically you're just walking between a couple of large buildings. It's a little not crowded, but a little thin, but you're able to get the goat through there. But as you're getting there, you're about midway through the alley, and no one's really seemed to have paid any attention to you. There is a couple of people that are staring at Tom when the foot of one of these soldiers seems to have caught on just a portion of the building, and as your beast kept moving forward, he gets yanked off and falls to the ground.
No.
Go with armored corpses, stealth mode. Clank, 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 clank,
So,
clank.
At this point, it only looks like something fell off your goat. No, it's dark out, and while you can kind of see in the dark, being an elf, and I think that Tom can too, humans can't.
All right.
A couple of people are walking over. One guy's like, "Hey, need some help?"
I say
He's not a guard, just a regular human.
Oh wow! First time I've seen Corey
when the guy fell out, I was like, I fall down to the ground and open up a fissure so he falls into it.
Holy crap!
Really?
Are you serious?
Cool, do it. That's gonna be
Oh
amazing.
my God. Way to not attract attention.
And then like the fissure causes the body to fall in, but also the house next door.
Are
has
you
just
sure you're
half
not
of its
Toph?
foundation. Like, that's what I said. He's
That's my
tough.
first instinct. Like, my character is not.
Subtle?
He tries. Well, he's got a lot of.
I love it if that's what you're doing, but we'll say that you had that instinct, but you might be able to play it off some other way. You have
Yeah.
this choice now, or you could do it because it could be amazing. Because they can't prove you did anything if it's all been swallowed by the earth.
Plausible deniability.
What did you just do?
Man had a
Nothing.
family to
Prove
feed.
Prove it!
He's got 15
What
kids.
bodies?
Wait. Can Tom grow 3 breasts and then distract everybody by flashing them? That would be like,
I mean,
Really,
he has
really
that power.
yeah.
That they would look like mushroom caps. I don't know
Okay.
really what you're into.
It would be.
Tom, total recall everyone. Tom, total recall him.
It would be pretty interesting to show off as a non-gendered species.
Okay.
And also, to be
Thank
fair,
you.
they might not grow just 1, 2. You know, it might be one over
So
here,
as-
one on his cheek.
Or both on his head.
As a guy.
So what is Winterborn gonna do?
Okay. I don't like someone wanting to come up to help me, so
He missed the target number by 1.
Oh jeez.
I feel like I'm gonna fail any bluff roll to make him do something I don't want him to do too. But I guess I'll try it. I'll point over towards the mushroom man and I'll say, "What is that?" And hopefully he'll turn around and I can just grab the body and put it back in. And
Yeah, that's not bad actually.
All right, make a bluff check.
Does Tom hear Ape's proclamation?
oh, there we go.
Oh, I don't have your character sheet open right now. You don't have any prejudices in bluff, do you? Like people don't automatically hate you. I know some of our characters had that.
No.
I do.
Yeah.
That evil black-looking girl.
So,
Everything
so
on her is
if,
black.
so if he hears Winterborn's claim what or shout what's that?
What's
he'll
that?
he'll
Look
in that
out!
direction
Yeah.
wave.
Do a little song and dance. I want to see him
I,
do.
I honestly thought Tom was gonna go and look to see what it was.
Turn around.
Seems about right.
But that's good. You stand there and wave. The guy's like, I don't know what that is. As you're like picking, like trying to tuck it back up under the sheet, and tie it off there to something else.
Like the body keeps on like slipping out, and he's just like struggling trying to put the damn thing back up. And it keeps on
well.
slipping.
So you are
The
half
human's
the
like,
time,
oh my God, what is that?
pick it up. Oh, I feel like I should make you make a lifting check, but I'm gonna be nice and let you get it up there.
I'd fail it.
It's just a bunch of lumpy cargo. Don't worry about it. I have places to be.
Mind your
No,
business.
stealth mode. Clank, clank.
All right. You tuck it back up under there. You're good to go. The guy's like just looks up to you and goes, well, I think it's a person. A person. Guy's a little drunk. He's out.
You
at night.
introduce yourself, Tom?
I say, well, thanks for your help. You did great. I'm getting out of here because I don't trust that. And I move the goat forward.
Are you a person or are you a tree?
Did it work? You got away. You made a getaway, and so you got away.
Why two arms?
All
He's
right.
a tree with arms.
If I thought I
Tom
could,
was a good distraction. It worked out well.
if I thought I could get away with it, like I think I would draw more attention if I did it, but I'd go faster and get there quicker if I just got the goat to just jump onto the rooftops and jump from rooftop to like a goat does.
All right.
Yeah, that would probably draw some attention.
Take the win, Corey.
Meanwhile, back in the room where the
Yeah, I think we should be interrogating this girl.
Are. All right. Is she
Esri.
still in the wardrobe or?
Well, depending on what Esri, if Esri's with me on this, I will pull her out and like start trying to interrogate her.
I'm gonna go ahead and create a blade made out of shadow, like a dagger. And I'm gonna hold it to her throat as he takes the gag out, and say, kind of whisper to her, "You better behave." I'll look at him and say, "Go ahead."
I'm a
She
she.
stares metaphorical daggers at you in response.
Why'd you try to kill the old man?
She says nothing. You all also hear at this point, and you two, Winterborn and Tom, will see an actual guard walking in, looking around, you know, saying, I hear there's some sort of disturbance around here. At which point you will see the bartender, who has a name, and I will find it.
So we're back already?
If she's a
you-
redhead, just call her Madeline.
No, she has. I could call her Madeline, but it wouldn't be her name, would it?
Well, fine.
So we're back
But-
already when the guard comes?
Yeah, you can. Oh, well, are you gonna bury him or just toss him?
No, we're just tossing them.
Yeah, then you can be back.
Okay, because we're in the room, right? We're not out in that common
Yeah, I'm
area.
just saying you'll hear this in the background.
Okay. All right.
Moina is her name. She says, there was some woman screaming she'd been attacked and by an old man. They all went running. A couple guards chased him. Why? And she'll have to make her bluff roll because she just doesn't want to deal with this. Literally, she's done nothing wrong, but at the same time, she doesn't want to deal with it. Also, she might have done something wrong. She did technically shoot some guards. And I could see where people might be all weirded out by that. So she makes a bluff check.
Okay, yeah, we're not going to take her gag off while the soldier is there. We're going to wait.
The soldier lingers a bit, and just makes conversation with her, which isn't what she wanted, but he doesn't seem to be overly suspicious. As for you don't take the gag off, or you do take the gag off, but you tell her not to scream, and you got the dagger there. The old guy is just wolfing down the whiskey, and he starts going on.
While the guard is talking
I don't know
to
what those guards were going on about. I didn't do anything.
while the guard is talking to Moya, I will constantly interrupt him to talk to Moya and ask her just questions about, where I'm staying, what kind of food she has, just to make it so the guard wants to leave sooner. You know?
All right.
So he's going to be obnoxious, basically.
Yeah, the anti-charm roll. Go ahead and make your charisma check. Well, bluff if you got it.
Man, I'm sucking at this. I can't. I roll ones all the
On
time.
the upside, your goal was just to be annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently, you weren't nearly annoying enough.
You could be worse. There's like a part of you that doesn't grok being super annoying, and you feel yourself stopping yourself.
One of the questions is super important, though. I ask her if she has a room with an earthen floor.
Yeah, I could put you in the basement.
Perfect.
Fine.
There's no basement in the Alamo.
That's not the Alamo, is it? All right. Do you want to stay in the basement? It's 5 copper. Stay in the basement, which sounds like a bit much, but you know what? It's weird. It's a weird request.
Because she said my room and board was free, but now she's charging me.
No, this room that we have is free. You want a separate room in the basement.
Okay. I give her. Do I have coppers? What do I have?
Should have. Everybody had like some amount of gold on them.
You have,
I have 5
stone.
golds. Okay, I have 5 golds.
How many golds?
All right, if you hand her a gold, she's like, oh, right. And she puts it away, and she comes back with. And
A bunch of
she like
change.
starts counting out the silver, and she goes, "You know what? Here, just stay in this basement. She gives you back your gold
Too much trouble.
because it would be technically, was it 9 gold and 5 copper? She just doesn't feel like it.
Like, I'm not making
She
change.
technically promised me free room and board.
Do you say that out loud?
No, I don't, because the guard's here. Because
Good. Good.
You're
You
asking
said,
for a room
if I
and
got
for
rid
the
of those
guard.
bodies, I got a free room. Wait,
So,
better for
so
the
she
guard.
is not acknowledging the prior deal she made with you. To
right.
hide
Okay. Makes sense to me. She's smarter than I am.
She is, yes.
All right. So you have the woman. She's not crying out for the help from the guard, if that makes you feel any better.
I lean in and look at her and say,
Has
look,
the guard left yet?
while she's checking to see if the guard left, I'm going to look at the girl and I'm going to say, look, you really want to talk to me. If you don't, she's going to get you. Wouldn't you rather just answer my questions? I'll do a persuasion check like on that.
Is there
We're
more
gonna play
whiskey?
good cop, bad cop.
I got extra charm because of my. I'll do it.
You
it
want
wouldn't
me to
be-
give you to the black chick with the shadows? That's not well for you.
Yeah.
It would be more of a persuasion check at this point.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's fine. Charming,
Yeah.
charming persuasion?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. Okay, got you. Either way,
Persuading persuasion.
we're
For
good.
persuaders.
Here we go, papas. Okay. Bam.
All right. You something about your adorable glowing haired face. Just of course you would rather talk to the person who seems less threatening, except when that person is threatening her. She kind of picks up on what you're aiming at there, and you feel like you haven't convinced her. The old guy is still like, is there more whiskey? I wanted more whiskey. And he starts to get up and he's like, oh, no. And he lays right back down.
Yeah, you're gonna open up all those things I just closed on you. Just lay down and drink your drink.
I drink.
Here, I offer him the whiskey.
Okay. He will take whatever drink is offered to him. He downs pretty quick.
What are you doing?
I was just drinking whiskey.
Do you serve this?
Is she a human? I'm examining her. Is she a human or is she an
She is
elf or
human.
what is she?
She looks very human.
I check her ears, looking at her ears.
She has roundish, no humany ears. She has makeup on to under her eyes to just It creates kind of it's just eyeliner, just making her look slightly more imposing.
I pull a little
She
vial
has
out
some
of
dark lipstick on, and her hair is just black. She
I
looks
pull a
like
little vial out of my bag and I say, "Okay, you're gonna force me to use this on you. I'm gonna give you one last chance.
you haven't asked me a question.
Why were you trying to kill the old man?"
I didn't. That
Yeah,
was
you
what those
did.
guards were doing.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. She tries to gesticulate, but you know.
Yeah, she can. You said he attacked you. You lied. He didn't attack you. You just came in here to get him. I
He
want to
did
know
attack
why.
me. That man killed my husband.
Did you kill her husband?
I don't know. Hang on. Let me roll and see if I know things. I'm drunk.
He doesn't know if he killed anybody. Seems like that should be a no-brainer.
He's like, with that roll, he takes him a moment and he goes, I didn't kill her husband. Guards killed her husband.
Who's Solus?
She's Solus.
Are you Solus?
Solace. My name is Solace.
Okay.
Wait, he said your name when he fell.
Reina Solace is my name.
Does that ring a bell?
To y'all?
said it.
No. Nobody here knows who that is.
He said the
Okay,
name.
is the soldier gone yet?
Yeah. At this point, he finally just is done with it. The guy,
Okay.
he thought about macking on the woman, but there was this annoying cock block there.
Okay. Once I hear him walk out, I'm gonna come back to her with my shadow dagger, and I'm gonna press it up against her neck, just tight enough to like draw a drop of blood. We want answers. We want to know what's going on, and don't play coy. You know exactly what we're talking about.
Fine. I was
Maybe
getting revenge on the man who killed my husband.
Maybe we
Using
shouldn't.
The old man passes out.
Maybe we shouldn't be stabbing someone.
I
I know how to
didn't
fix it.
stab her.
Stab her all you want. I can fix it.
I didn't.
The
I
trauma
didn't stab
of being
her. I just
stabbed
drew a
over
little
and
blood.
over again. Be horrifying.
All right. Corey, you rejoining the room here? You and Tom?
Yeah. I say,
Alright.
Mister, thanks so much for helping me out back there. Couldn't have done that without you.
You make more of these?
As Tom and Winterborn rejoin the room, the old man has passed out with a empty bottle of whiskey in his hand, just kind of laid out on the bed. And the woman is up inside the wardrobe with Esri and Twinkle like up on top, almost on top of her. So you obfuscating her in a way, just blocking your vision of what's going on, why they're all up in the wardrobe.
I walk
Let
in, I
me
go,
try talking to her.
You probably see the dagger made of shadow
Please.
in Esri's hand.
what is going on in here?
Please let me try
Oh, we were
talking
playing
to
dress
her.
up.
Trust me. Let me try talking to her.
We
You
were
two have
doing
done
an
enough.
interrogation, but she's unconscious now.
No,
Her
no,
name is-
she's fine. The old man's unconscious.
Yeah, her
Oh,
name
I
is
thought you said she was. Okay.
her name is Reina Solace.
Let
An
me talk to her, please. Give me some time. Let me speak with her. I go and kneel down in front of her.
She looks at you.
She claims the old
I
man
s-
killed her husband.
I say in Elysian. Well, yeah, I was standing right there. I heard her. I say in Elysian. How long have you been a necromancer?
Can you speak Elysian or read it?
I read. Oh, I read. Write it. God damn it! You're
Take notes and hold them up.
yeah. Fair point. Good
Playing
point.
charades now.
Fuck. Good. Damn it. That's a very good point.
Should have spent that extra point, bro.
So
1 point.
I guess your entire plan is now done, right? So I say it looks like you're torturing this woman. Not
I healed her. What are you talking about?
well, you haven't.
She does have a drop of blood that's real, like bright against her very pale white skin, like when Sarah bleeds.
I'm sorry. Your name was, and I looked to Esri. Esri. I apologize, but it looks like you were torturing this woman.
Not at all. Just incentivize you a little bit.
I would say it was more of a threat.
Really? I mean, we haven't really harmed her at all.
No, nothing.
Yet.
She would have died if I didn't help her. Well, I did
Good
initially
point.
stab her. Yanni, but let's not go there.
Right. Okay. Did you ask her about her like undead servants that she was controlling with probably necromantic magic?
My ears kind of peaked up at that point. They were undead.
Well, they weren't alive. No one burned them to a cinder.
And you took them. Where did you put them?
Into the graveyard
well,
where the dead
the
people
smell-
go.
Oh no! I
No,
started
the
running out of the
smell-
room.
The smell did happen when. The smell did happen when the woman and the bartender.
The
pointed
bartender
her
did not
at the smell.
burn those people in. That's not what happened.
Does your character mention the necromancy symbols you found in the book?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I did tell
Where are you-
everybody I gave him a book. If y'all didn't pay
They were
attention, it's your own
obviously
fault.
already dead in those suits of armor.
Where does Twinkle run off to?
He said undead bodies. So I'm looking, I'm
Okay,
thinking now, ooh, there's all kinds of goodies I can get off of those things.
Ah, okay, I see what you did.
Okay, so I'm going to look at Raina and go, so what about it, Raina? You want to tell us about the necromancy?
I believe it's the magical ability to bring the dead back. Make 'em
See,
walk
now
around.
there you go, getting all smartass with us again. You know what I'm asking you.
You're asking me to say that I'm something that would have me automatically killed. I'll pass.
Well, if you're not going to talk to us, perhaps we should turn you over to the city guard and let them deal with you.
Maybe I can talk some sense into her.
Wait. We can't take her just to the city guard and like tell them she's a necromancer. We already got rid of all of the evidence of that.
Not
I walked back
helping
in.
Winterborn.
I walked back in with
Stupid.
this look like I just
You're not
realized I don't know
helping,
where he took the
Winterborn.
bodies.
I am helping.
So, like, Tom just kind of stands there a little awkwardly and just says concerned as he cocks his head to one side.
Hey, maybe there's something in that book that I gave her.
Look.
Oh, that's an old family heirloom. I'd like to have it back.
Oh, I bet you would.
It had some pretty pictures in there. There's a dead unicorn head.
This
Sure, why not?
man. Let's just talk about what we already know so we can make good decisions about where to go next.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Whiteape?
Are you referring to me?
Yeah, you, Mr. Whiteape, since you're born,
Yes,
the Doom of
Whiteape,
the Fallen.
Yes.
Yeah. Is being a necromancer legal?
I have no idea.
It's probably not.
It doesn't
So
seem
I'm
that way since
assuming
she
You
said.
actually,
criminal.
you do know. It's in that list of things you know.
Oh,
Necromancy is one of those demonic magics that's completely outlawed. There's an entire group called the Azure Order that will execute you. They find out that you practice it.
Which is what I'm
Which is-
banking on.
Why I was suggesting
Which
that it
is
would be
fine.
better for her to talk to us than the authorities.
So,
So,
here's the thing that let's just talk about what we do know.
okay.
This man
That
is a
guy's
crazy man,
crazy.
and he talks. He thinks everybody is out to get him,
And he knew exactly who she was. He said her name.
but he's also
Apparently, he wasn't wrong.
he's also a drunkard, and he seems old and not
Everything
able to
he
defend
said
himself.
Happened.
I don't think he did anything that could actually harm this woman.
Except spouting out about necromancy, which might have uncovered her as being a necromancer and gotten her in trouble.
That's a
again, which is why
possibility.
she-
But it's not. She probably
He accused my husband of being a necromancer, and my husband was murdered.
But you were the necromancer because you brought the
Okay.
necromancer dead bodies in here. So it wasn't you. He accused your husband. Now your husband's dead, but you were the real reason he's dead because you were the one doing the necromancy.
That
Good
makes
point.
sense. That makes sense. Okay, now
That
I'm
means
understanding this.
that
now.
means it's you who got your husband killed, not him.
If he said was true, or sorry, if what she said was true, yes, but she just made up a whole story there that is inaccurate.
I'm just going by what you said.
So the
And what
dead
he
bodies just marched themselves in here and attacked him?
At the time, I was not a necromancer.
But now,
So, okay. So her
I
husband.
wanted my husband back.
Necromancy would be a surefire way of that, wouldn't it?
I
probably
wasn't
not the
able
way
to
she
do it in
wanted him.
time. It's more complex than I imagined it would be, but I was able to use it for my revenge. Almost.
So why would someone accuse your husband of being an necromancer?
Because
We missed our son who had died, and he thought he would look into it. He didn't deserve to be murdered for it.
So he was a necromancer, but it was for a good reason. Is what you're trying to say.
Okay. You see, this is all important information that I'm glad we were able to come back to this because, yes, I understand the loss of a child and wanting it back. So the question is,
I'm gonna walk over to the old man and start looking at him. Does he have any symbols or anything on him or on his body? Like as
He
your
stinks.
legion symbols?
You realize that he smells very much like fresh urine.
Oh, I'm sure.
Um,
That
and
was
blood, 'cause
that was
he
Erda's
got
bed
blood.
he peed on, by the way.
Oh, good.
does something pee
He smells
on?
a lot like blood, whiskey, fresh urine, and you don't see any real symbols on him. He's got some scars that look pretty old, like like
Like
maybe
he was an
10, 20 years
adventurer.
old. Yeah,
He's got
nothing.
he's got an arrow in the knee wound.
Either that or he's just been beat up a lot. Hard to say.
Didn't catch that. I was an adventurer once till I took an arrow in the knee.
As he's like laying there snoring with his mouth open, he's got those like drool strings from that extend across his mouth.
So he looks like a urinated on homeless man, crack addict.
Pretty much.
In a yeah.
but smells slightly worse.
Does he have anything on him, like a necklace or anything that I might see that would give away?
He has a
something?
money pouch with about 6 copper in it.
Yeah, leave that on him. I don't need 6 copper.
He has a key on his belt hanging.
What kind of key does it look like? Like just a
Like
regular
goes to a door, like maybe wherever he
like a
lives.
skeleton key or
So,
like.
I walk up to Solus, and I say, "I'd like to apologize to you. I didn't want I couldn't stand by while somebody else simply got stabbed like that. But I understand where you're coming from. That
It's a
said,
shame you weren't there when they murdered my husband. Then
that I wish I was. Unfortunately, I was not. I am here. Doing necromancy, you knew, and your husband knew that performing those arts would change your life forever. You couldn't stay here with even if you brought your son back, there would be no way for you to stay within the town again. Your entire lives would be changed. And they were. These are the consequences for those actions. Doing these kinds of magics. I don't have the authority, nor do I have the understanding to pass judgment on somebody who uses these types of magics. I'm still young. All I know is that when somebody is in need of help, I want to help them. So I know I don't have total authority here, but I think we should just let her go, and hopefully she'll leave town because more people. The cat's out of the bag. People will know. People will talk, and you'll need to run.
Agree.
So if we
You
let
might
you
be
go, will
setting
you leave
yourself up
town?
for some big problems later by doing that, but that's fine.
Fine, I will leave. There's nothing for me here.
Tom will
Wait,
offer.
I
Go
want to know one thing before she leaves, though. I want to know where you started to learn your necromancy from.
The book.
Who gave you the book?
Say again?
Who gave you the book?
I don't know where my husband got the book. He said that a man came to him after our son died and offered him a way to make things right. And that's where he got the book. I don't know more than that. And you can't ask my husband. I tried.
There's our mystery right there. Somebody is giving people necromancy in this town.
There's a ritual in the book towards the back that, performed correctly, it says that you can bring someone back whole, properly, not like those men that were in the tavern.
Look,
As she's saying that, I'm literally just like looking down and thumbing through the book.
Like, why can't I read this language?
Howard, can I ask you a lore question?
Sure.
As a preserver, I assume that I am against necromancy, as it disrupts the natural order, and I'm all about natural order.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that everybody that is a caster is aware is of the different types of magics. Yours is elemental. It literally comes from the earth, and yours more literal than most from the earth, since it's actually earth and rock sculpting. So the Eldritch magics came from a time when demons came into the world from somewhere else. They brought a lot of corruptive magic with them that is not natural, not a part of the world, and it's all pretty much all bad. It all does things like leaves, like just death in its wake. The trees start to die, corruption spreads. Use of it generally has a negative impact on the environment.
Okay. I think I do not like necromancy. I will just say it like straight out. I do not like necromancy. As a preserver, I try to keep the natural order of life and death. I think we can't return the book to her. We should destroy it.
Fine, keep the book. And she indicates her bindings.
I'll go right there.
She
I put the book in my
Right.
satchel.
She looks at you, Sparkle.
Soda. Okay.
Twinkle. Dang it. I knew it was going to happen. Twinkle. She looks at you and goes, "Can I have my knife back? At least I could sell it for some food."
Give her.
Was
her
it you or was it Esri that took the knife? Who took the knife?
I don't
No,
know.
he
I don't remember.
She took the knife. I didn't take it.
Yeah, give
Okay,
her
yeah.
something. Give her something.
Well, she
to
wasn't blindfolded, so she
Yes,
saw that.
Give her something to defend
I
herself
can
with.
make my own weapons. I don't need to take them.
The knife is worth?
Okay.
Yeah, I give her a gold piece too.
Yeah, how much do you think the knife is worth?
It's ornate. It has a ruby in it. I could probably sell it for a couple of gold.
I give her a gold. I say keep that
If you're one,
knife
I
to
give her-
defend yourself. Here's a gold piece.
Thank you.
So Tom will go up to her and offer her like a sympathetic look and a hand on her shoulder, and will point.
She looks kind of like a little nervous as the giant fungus man looms over.
like I already told
The
you.
hand comes
a little bit
down.
of, Tom,
Be still, my spores are integrating.
like Howard, you remember when I talked about Tom's background, right? That
Yeah.
he does have like kids of his own already, and he's just out and about. So he's going to like speak as directly as possible. I'm parent. 2, I understand. Do you need tool?
Tool. No, no, no tools. She's not sure what you're offering.
Hmm. Yeah, he's basically trying to offer, like,
Well, Howard understands. She does not.
ah. So
I go,
you know what? I'll take out like a little pod and form a like a little dagger or sword. Like I saw the swords that the guards were using. So he'll try to like mimic what the guards had.
All right. Well, you can make the shape of a sword with it, but you can't use your creating like tool ability like that to make combat weapons because they're not strong enough. They don't have they're not steel. They're not gonna have the right.
Okay.
They're
Like
mushy.
I was wondering,
Yeah,
like,
they're mushy.
how it would have worked. Like if they use hammers and such, they should be strong
If
enough.
if you did that, you would make just a really big dense pod and like club it. Which you could make a club maybe.
Okay.
And, like here's a she would have no
Howard, I walk outside to the main room where we were in with all the guards and everything.
Mm-hmm.
One of the
So
guards'
he'll
swords
essentially
is
offer her
still on
a
the
club.
floor. There any weapons still on the floor anywhere?
Okay. All the guard stuff was cleaned up
By
So-
the redhead? Can I ask Mila or what did you say her name was? Not Mila?
Moina is she is just sweeping up.
Moina, do you have one of those?
Kind of mad because she's lost her business for the night.
I'm sorry about that, but do you have a little like weapon that maybe one of those guys dropped earlier? Something I could use real quick.
Yeah, there's a lost and found. Hang on. She goes to the back, pulls out a crate that's full of just random like small daggers, short swords, and things that have been confiscated. She finds you see a morning star is the biggest item in there. Yeah, you need something? And she passed you a dagger.
Oh, thank you. You're so nice. Here, to give her a little.
Various stages of condition. None of it looks like new or anything. It's more like it's sort of like if somebody had like an old silverware drawer full of weaponry for her lost and found at the end.
To give her a big smile and say, thank you. Walk back in the room with the dagger and hand it to what's her name.
You get like a brief glimpse of that staff that she fried those guys with.
Yeah.
But there is a leather loop that it sits in, and there's another piece of leather that hangs over it that has a weird sigil on it that you don't recognize.
told you she fried him.
Gotcha.
But yeah, she totally fried them. They took a lot of damage. And if they had been humans, they would have been screaming their heads off. That would probably hurt a lot.
Heard on that one. So I walk in and hand Solus that cheap dagger. But we gave her gold and I'm giving her a weapon. Thank you. Goodbye.
And we're going to go ahead and cut it here because it's getting late. As much as I could run a game all night, we're supposed to do about 2-hour streams. I think we're over that. But we'll pick up in the morning.
We actually
after y'all have rested up.
We actually have an actual mystery. Someone selling necromancy books or spreading necromancy. By the way,
Indeed.
I want to destroy the necromancy book, but I also want to like keep a page from it as evidence. So when people are like, "I'm looking for a guy selling necromancy books," they're like,
I think
"That's not
Erda had the necromancy book last I heard.
Yeah, I have it, and I
Yeah,
put it in my
I
bag.
wouldn't-
okay."
I wouldn't destroy it because we are going to need it as evidence.
Evidence.
Yeah,
And no one's
I
taking
kept
his
it.
dagger. It's
Totally.
my dagger.
Yeah, I kept it. Totally evident.
All right. Is there
Totally.
experience points or?
All right, so no one used any character points, and I didn't really explain how they work, but it's all right. It just means everybody got 5 character points for tonight. You at the beginning of the game, you get character points. You can spend them in game to help with a roll that you think you missed, and you can basically try again, do a better roll, or you can save them, and at the end of the game, they become basically the equivalent of XP. You can spend character points to buy new skills and things like that. And I will put handouts in your Roll20 profiles that show you how to level up your stuff.
So my sheet already has 5 character points on it, so that's the 5 character points for this game.
You're right.
You're right.
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody started with 5, and that's
then
what that's about.
Every game we play, we get another 5.
That's how it's going to work.
Where are they located at? The character points?
Red or gold.
Okay.
And then there's something
Yeah,
called
okay.
fate points.
It's kind of like a force point. You can spend that. It doesn't turn into XP if you don't spend it, but you can spend it, and if you do something awesome, you can get it back. It's a force point.
So it's like
from the original
inspiration.
Star Wars.
Okay.
Huh?
It just gives
Is
you
it
like
like
an extra die.
inspiration?
So we,
Yeah, actually, inspiration was based on this.
Okay.
so we
It's
started
a
by
long
the
trail
5.
because inspiration
we-
came from the D20 Star Wars game, after Witch of the Coast bought it, and they kept the force point from the old West End game, and then it was a popular mechanic, so they integrated into D&D later.
So fate point, is it just like add an extra die, or does it? What is it? Like, can you
I'll look up
reroll?
the exact mechanics of the fate point and the character points if you want to spend them in game, and I will put that in. I'll put a lot of mechanics into your stuff so you can read it for next time.
Thank you.
Sounds like a plan.
Wrapping up, is there anything special you want to do to wrap up this game? Any like thing you want to do, or is it just goodbye?
Your send off.
Now we all get topless. Sarah first.
Okay.
So if you watch this video all the way through, you obviously liked it, so hit the like button, subscribe for more. We'll be doing this every Friday night, so we thank you for watching. And
hit the bell.
And we'd love you to watch it live, so you can interact with us as we
And
play.
if you hit the bell, you can watch it live. You'll get a note.
You'll get a note.
Yeah. You want notifications.
And we're also on Twitch, and I don't know all the things you can do on Twitch. Follow us on Twitch. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh,
I'm waving, but you can't see it.
All right. Hope y'all had fun, and see y'all next week.